a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats if there's anything that you want to see highlighted. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Sunday. Super excited to be here with each and every one of you today. Oh, super excited. So glad. I always look forward to being here with each one of you each Sunday. And you guys never disappoint. Here we are. Ready to go. Now, again, super excited today. I have put in place some emojis for members to use. That I'm excited for you guys to try out. If you are a member, go in and take a look at these. I think they're pretty cool. I'm trying to make sure I can look at them myself, to be honest with you. Yeah, there's bacon ones and all kinds of cool stuff in there. And I put a couple in there. There's one in there for Rick. If you go in there, you can search for the Rick one. There should be a Rick one in there. Yeah, Rick right here. Here's Rick. I think that's not Rick. Hold on. Where's Rick? Oh, yeah, that is the Rick. Here's the Rick one. You see it? It's super duper small. But I mean, they're going to be small no matter what we do. But if you were to see it, let's see if I can bring it up on screen so you guys can see what it looks like. Because it's pretty neat. Because Rick's always talking about how Mitch has a sound effect. For some reason, I can't get my sound effects to work through EVMux. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll be all right. Layers. You know what has layers? Onions have layers. Parfaits have layers. So let's go ahead here, and I want to bring up this little Rick display here so you guys can see what Rick looks like. All right, so this is what Rick looks like. It's a greaser duck, and it says, "Hello, my name is Rick." Oh my goodness gracious. Hello, my name is Rick. Rick is here. Rick is not in here. Rick is over on Mitch's channel right now. But I thought that was funny. You guys let me know if it's funny or not. I've got to add a couple more in here. Some things that I can show you that I think these are going to be good too. I think you guys will like this too. And for Eva Lynn, we got this one for Eva Lynn. What do you think? I have another one too. I'm sorry. Oh, I love it. I'm such a dork. I have this one too. Then there's this one too. my goodness gracious. What is wrong with me, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm here. Speaking of Evelyn is here. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad to see you. Stacy is here. Good morning, Stacy. We love you, Stacy. And Ken says, Evelyn, how is school going? And Granny Boo too. Granny Boo too. How about you? Oh, I have problems. Anyway, Sean is here. Sean is one of the best guys that I know. He's a great guy. Best guy. Anyway, Sean's here. I hope Shell's doing wonderful. Josephine sees all the way from the land down under. Saying, howdy, beautiful people. And she put all, and it shows me that she's got all of the different, emojis. Yeah. I love it. I love it so much. Oh, there we go. There's Brian Doyle. Good morning, Brian. I'm glad to see you, my friend. John Gugahan is here. Good morning, John. I'm glad to see you. Oh, it's so good coffee. No. It's been sitting for like an hour and it's still hot. Oh, so hot. Lexus Jones is in the house. Good morning, dear. How are you? Thank you for joining us. And then hanging out with Jen is in the house. Good morning, Jen. And Evelyn is responding to Stacy. It's going great. New building, new kids, new adults, way less stress. That's what we want. We want way less stress. We don't need all that mess. All that stress. We don't need it. We don't need it at all. We don't need it at all. Isn't that right? Brian, the fisherman dish, is in the house. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Hello, Dustin. Hello, Brian. Thank you for being here. Another Brian, the guinea pig, is here. Good morning. How are you, good sir? Glad to see you. And Jen's like, bacon, bacon, bacon. I love it. Oh, yes. People are saying hello to everybody. Andy's here. Good morning, Dustin, and everyone. Woo! Glad to see you, Andy. Jeff is in the house. Good morning, Jeff. How are you doing, my friend? Amy's in the house. Ooh, Amy's in the house. Good morning, Amy. Good to see you. Oh, yes. Isn't that funny? I have problems. I have problems. Oh, you think Rick will like his little duck? If it would have been easier to see, I would have made it duck with his own little pet iguana. I think that would have been cool, but you know. And everybody's saying hello. And Josephine says, awesome. Rick Duck has hair is perfect. The hair is perfect. Yes. Oh my goodness. Evelyn's got all the heart emojis. Hearts. And if you notice, if you can see on the Facebook, what is wrong with me? If you can see on YouTube, I've changed the badges. So if you're a member, there's different badges for how long you've been a member. I can't remember what, I had to go back and look and see what they are here. Let me go see. Go back and look and see what all that says here, because I can't remember. I made them yesterday, but I don't remember today. So give me a second. Let me go and look. So new member, you get ketchup and mustard. You got ketchup with angry mustard. We were talking about that on Tuesday. Chandra's my angry mustard. So we got ketchup and mustard, angry mustard. Then a month you get butter. 2 months you get sausages. 6 months you get steak. A year you get coffee. And then after 2 years you get a big old chicken. And then I haven't put anything for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or not to 10 years. I haven't put any of those on there yet. I'm just up to 2 years right now. I have to go in and maybe come up with something. Maybe the first person to reach 3 years, I give them their own special emoji if that's something you'd want. We can play around with it. We can play around with it. We can play. We can have a good time. And I can do all the and as more members sign up, I can make more. I can make more emojis and different things like that. So, and if you are a person who is monetized and would like to have different badges and emojis, just let me know. I could probably work a deal out and make some for you because they're fun to make. Brian Doyle says Dustin has way too much time on his hands. No, I just feel like if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it and have fun with it. I go live twice a week at least, and then some weeks is going to be 3 times. And I'm planning to go some extra, vertical lives and stuff. YouTube is a big important part of my life. So, I want to make sure that I'm investing in you guys because you guys invest in me with your time, your memberships. Why not make it special? It did think it looked like Shanda's. Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like too, because that's funny. It never hurts to show you guys stuff just because, we're having fun here. We're having a good time. We're just enjoying it. We're enjoying ourselves here. You know what I mean? We're enjoying ourselves. That's what we came to do, right? Because that's what we came to do. And here is happy ketchup and angry mustard. Oh, the little things in life. It's the small things. All the small things. Yeah. I love it so much. Oh my goodness, I love it. Let me know what kind of emojis that I should build in, and let me know. Oh, you didn't think it looked like Chandra? It does. She's grumpy. She's grumpy. It's fine. Amy says, "What's wrong with you is you were awesome." I love it. I love it. Those 2 photos of Evelyn are before and after coffee. Yes. Yes. Andy said, Susan and I had a mini meetup with Brian, fly fisherman. He bought one of my cameras yesterday. We had a great meal and even better conversation. That's awesome. That's so cool. That's so cool. I love it. Simpson Johns is in the house. Good morning. How are you? Oh, welcome welcome to this mess. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm having a day. I'm having a good time. I'm laughing, having my coffee, enjoying time with you guys. It's the best. It's the absolute best. Can you disagree with me on that? It's the best. I have opened up a new tier of membership. If for those who are interested and actually, and have the means, I have it. Let me go ahead and open that up as well because I figure I should show that as well. A new tier. So I've got the 99-cent tier, and then I've got a new tier. Let's go ahead and see if I can find that here. Yeah, so I figured that. So the other day, Cindy, I think it was Cindy's channel, it might have been a different channel as well. We're talking about, she's got the hail razors, and Thomas has his riblets, and various other channels have what they call their fans or their people who come on and hang out with them all the time. And I was like, what can I call y'all? And this is what I came up with. So this is what I've got. The morning regulars. Little badge there, the morning regulars. Let me know what you think. There's a tier. It's another tier of membership. If you can take a look. There's actually two new tiers of membership. One is for creators who want to learn how to be a better creator. If you are interested in learning how I do what I do, I am not a professional by any means, but I have been doing this for over 5 years now. So I have been learning things and working and trying to make how I make things like this and how I do thumbnails and how I decide what to do with titles and edit video and all the things. If you would be interested in that, there's a big tier. That's a bigger financial commitment, but I figure that that's time that I'm spending trying to teach something and providing an actual service instead of just doing an extra live and things. So like if you do the morning regulars tier, there will be an extra live a month. It'll be a private live, so just for members. I mean, if it's like one member, it's gonna be kind of boring, just us having a conversation. So hopefully it's not just one. But we're gonna have a good time. But I love it. Lexus Jones says, I'm doing a lot better, and so is my sister. Well, I'm so glad to hear that. I switched from carnivore to keto Saturday last week, and it's been a lot easier to manage. I'm still part of the club. Here's my take on this, okay? Why is this not going away? I tried to make this go away. Oh, there we go. There we go. So now it's a little bit better and easier to see things. Okay. So here's my take on this. If you are doing what you think you need to do, or you're doing what you need to do for you, we celebrate that. It doesn't matter if you're carnivore, clean carnivore, super strict carnivore, whether you're lion diet, keto, dirty keto, Weight Watchers, vegan, paleo, whatever, calorie counting, whatever it is that you need to do for you, you're welcome here, because this is a community about trying to be better than we were yesterday. And the one thing that I see so often in our community is when somebody is doing something like they're doing carnivore and they're being really strict with it, and they find out that it's just not sustainable for them, or they're doing really strict keto and they find that it's not sustainable for them. There's other things involved, and they have to modify it to be successful. They have to modify it to be sustainable. They have to modify it to fit who they are instead of trying to fit who they are to that. Then people get upset with them, and they say, well, you're not trying hard enough. You're not doing it hard enough. You didn't do it long enough. And realistically, we're all on a journey here. And what we did yesterday may not be what we do today, and it may not be what we're doing tomorrow. But we're all on a journey here. And today is just that. Today is just today's part of the journey. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. We don't know what next week will bring. Whether I should say, for me, the only thing that I know for sure about this journey is that maintaining some semblance of a ketogenic lifestyle is in my future as far as I can see right now, because of how it impacts my hunger control, my satiety, the food noise. I still struggle. I struggle, and I'm going to admit that every day because I do struggle. Again, the kids are here. We've got our bonus kid, our youngest, and our oldest kid living here. Oldest kid has her fiance and her daughter, and then another one baking in the oven, right? So we're gonna have 8 people here come Christmas time, and Chandra and I are the only two who are on a proper human diet of any spectrum, any point in the spectrum. So I had like a breakdown last week, I forget what day it was. It was some early day last week. Um, our daughter had made pork roast, potatoes, and carrots. The tiny little, whatever they're called, the little tiny potatoes, and she cut them half, and they were cooked slow in the oven, and Chandra and I don't typically eat pork because it kind of bothers us, gives us a little bit of heartburn, indigestion, if you will. But she wanted some, and I ate a couple potatoes, and then I went back and ate a couple more potatoes, and it was just one of those things for me where I had to leave. I did that, and then my daughter comes out and has like ice cream cones, and I'm just like, I have to go upstairs. I just have to leave. I have to go upstairs because it's just difficult to be around that sometimes, because for so long we had managed based on what's in our, what's in the fridge, what's in the pantry. We had full control over that. And now we really don't. And I try to explain that to the daughter. She's like, well, just don't eat it then. And I'm like, but you don't understand. That's like, that's like sitting there and having an open bar in front of a recovering alcoholic who's a couple of weeks clean or whatever. You know what I mean? Or whatever. I mean, it's just difficult. People don't understand that food addiction is a real addiction. I mean, it was just a couple of potatoes, sure. But if I didn't wrestle with that and get it under control, I would have ate whatever was left in the pan. And then I went upstairs and I was emotional with myself because nobody wants something to have control over them like food does. Because it's silly. It's one of those things that it shouldn't have the control over us that it does. But it does, because we can't just not eat. We can't just never eat again. We have to. And we can be as strict, we can be as diligent as we want to, but that doesn't make everything in the outside world go away. And I can lie to myself and say, it really doesn't bother me. But a lot of it doesn't. And that's the truth. I do almost all the grocery shopping for Chandra and I'm at the grocery store multiple times a week. A lot of you know that. And I'm inundated with clearance items, and they have got the carts. Almost every grocery store has those carts, the one with all of the day old pastries and the donuts and the cakes and the pies and all that stuff, or whatever. The ones that are, that have the expiration date from that day. And you see that, you're like, man, that's such a good deal. Mine at Walmart, they put them right by the eggs, the eggs and the milk. And, which is one of those things that it's impossible to get around it, because, you can, we had built this sustainable life for ourselves. Starting in 2016, we cleaned the house out. And that was good until recently when the boys moved back in and they shop like, 10-year-olds who won the lottery. And I say that in jest, but it's true. I mean, there's always fast food in the fridge. There's always Hot Pockets, and there's the macaroni and cheese microwave cups, which that's lucky for me, is kind of gross. They don't really taste good. But there's ice cream sandwiches and ice cream drumsticks and all that stuff in the fridge or the freezer all the time. So I go in to get something out of the freezer and I'm like digging through all the stuff that, I would love to eat, but I don't. Sometimes I fail and sometimes it happens. But, it's, when we think about this kind of thing, Lexus, is like, you're doing what you need to do for you. So, you're saying you switched from carnivore to keto and I hope I'm still accepted. That's to me, a telltale sign that our community isn't always acting like a community. And I see different kinds of content where they tell people that you should always avoid the rotisserie chickens at Costco because they've got all these things in them. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, but what about that family that can feed a family of four for $5? And right now that's huge because everything's going up sky high. Like I've been buying roast, the beef roast from Costco has been like $6.49, $6.99 a pound. I went the other day and it was $9.99 a pound, like crazy. Like, why is it $9.99 a pound? So beef is going to kind of become one of those things that's hard to get right now. So we're going to be relying on chicken. And then chicken will probably go up like crazy. I've been buying chicken thighs a few times a week at $1.79 a pound. I mean, frozen burgers are almost $4 a pound. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. And we have to figure something out for our families. Think about a lot of the families that just don't have time. They're like, well, why can't they just cook at home? Well, I mean, if you are working an 8-hour job when you're there for 9 hours, you've got a half hour, 45-minute commute each way, and then kids doing stuff and sports and everything, and you may not have a spouse or somebody, a significant other who can help take care of them and get them where they need to go. You're doing it all yourself. What time do you have to cook? Costco rotisserie chicken, easy, $5. And it's better than going through McDonald's and getting French fries and Happy Meals and all that stuff, right? So I think we're too hard. We want perfection out of people. And realistically, what we should be looking at is just getting people off of the SAD diet by any means necessary. And I've talked about this before, like to me, and even Dr. Barry has talked about this, the proper human diet spectrum starts at whole food, single ingredients, about 100 grams of carbs or less. And then it goes all the way to the very end to where it's the lion diet, just beef, salt, and water. And if people are in that spectrum, let them be. Meet them where they are. Because we have to figure a way to keep us going. We have to figure a way to be consistent and not miserable. Because some people may try to live and do just meat and salt and water and be miserable. They may feel great, but it doesn't mean they're mentally great. And I think we have to remember that there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to getting healthy. There's physical health, mental health. There's, all of this stuff. And we just have to be there for each other. And we can't judge each other because we're all on this journey. And whether it's day one or the last day, we're on a journey. And hopefully we can support each other. And that's what I want to see more of. And I think there's just I've seen it for a while. There's a growing group of people that are just like, well, if you can't be perfect or you can't be perfect carnivore, then, what are you doing? It's not, I buy store brand burger and I buy Costco rotisserie chickens and I buy, Oscar Mayer hot dogs, and I do what I can do because I have to make do with what we have. And I know that a lot of people out there are struggling even harder than I am, and I'm trying to figure out how they're making ends meet. But yes, Lexus, you are always welcome here no matter what. Anyway, that little diatribe there. Carl says, coffee is in the cup, dogs are in, Dustin's on, and my feet are up. That's what I'm talking about, Carl. Carl has it figured out. And Evelyn is 100%. You are always welcome to our club, Lexus Jones. She's a keto girl. 100%. We're here. And Andy says, I'm happy to see you too, Dustin. We talked about you and Cindy and all the wonderful people in this community. Evelyn, I did your menu substitutions. I ordered a loaded potato without the potato. Nice. I imagine so. The server was confused, but she did it well. That's what I'm talking about. Josephine said the fun problems are the best, Dustin. That's right. Carl says, badges? Badges? We don't need no stinking badges. Just kidding. These are cool. I hope so. I worked on them for a couple hours yesterday. The problem was not getting the sizing right because YouTube is weird. They want them 32 pixels by 32 pixels, which is difficult because the program that I have goes down to 50 by 50 pixels. So I was like, well, let's see if this works. Luckily, it did. And Lexus Jones says, yay, Evelyn, how long have you been keto? I love it. Sharon Holloway is here. Thumbs up, everybody. Just got here. Did you hear there were only 3? Need more. Need more. Oh, my goodness. And Evelyn's telling Lexus Jones, 6 years in July, I lost weight and healed some bad infections in my body that no longer could take antibiotics. I could never take antibiotics for because I had become resistant to meds. Oh, my goodness. Here in South Carolina, Hurricane Imelda. Morning, all. Imelda. That's like, isn't she from Coco? Isn't Imelda one of the characters from Coco? Hold on, let me look that up. Mama Imelda Rivera. She was let's see. That's so tiny. Oh my goodness, it's not gonna look right. But if you haven't seen Coco, go do it. Coco's I can't watch it without crying. It's just, it's just how I am. But Mama Imelda. Anyway, I sidetracked myself so much. I'm like, oh, squirrel. People are saying hello to each other. And Jeff says they couldn't make that movie today. I think they could. They just wouldn't. I love it so much. Good morning, Patricia. Evil coffee, evil laugh. I love it so much. It just fills me with so much joy. It's the little things. And Amy says, I need more time like Dustin. My problem is I spend my time on the wrong stuff. Because I've got today after this, I've got to spend a lot of time working on our coaching stuff. I'm like got a whole lesson to do today. And they want 7 days of tracking. Oh my goodness. Sean Bradley upgraded to let's see. Sean Bradley just upgraded their membership. That's what I'm talking about. There you go, Sean. Sean's always there to be supportive. He's amazing. Thank you so very much. That means the world to me. So what does that mean? That Sean is now a morning regular. Welcome, Sean. Thank you for being a morning regular, Sean. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Uh-huh. Yeah. And Amy says she's joining the YouTuber group. I appreciate that very much. It might just be the two of us. Just the two of us. Now, Jen's talking about this. She says the Radical Grape is awesome. So I have a bag of Radical Grape here from Salty. I'm always kind of representing, if you can see in the background there. Salty's great. This is my favorite. I actually have some right here too. I have a little bit in my cup here. In my Yeti cup. Can you spot me, bro? Super excited. That's one of the things that I want to talk about is make sure that you guys are all buying, even if you don't like grape, buy a bunch of it that way. Because if it sells out real fast and keeps selling, then Chris won't let it go away. Because if it goes away, I'll be a big sad panda. And I don't want to be a big sad panda because I like being happy. And I like grape. So good. Grape. Oh, I need to add maybe a grape salt kind of emoji thing for here. But I love it. I'm glad you like it, Jen. I'm so glad. And they better keep it around. They better. You got to let Chris Bear know. And Amy says, I have to do it on my computer so it doesn't go through iTunes. Yeah, 100%. Never sign up for anything on iTunes. Always go through like your computer if you can help it. And Brian saying that carnivore is just the lowest carb keto. Yeah, I mean, it's true. Almost everything on the on the proper human diet spectrum is probably you're gonna be in some level of ketosis some parts of the day, no matter what. And Amy's talking about she watched a couple of videos on weight gain from Kelly Hogan and Bella, the steak and butter gal, last night. So what did you think about it? And Sean's here. He says, agree, Jen. Radical grape is amazing. I love the fact that it's not overpowering. That's true. It's got just enough grape. Just enough grape. I love it. Shelly King is in the house. Good morning, Shelly. Thank you so much for being here. How is it all the way where you are? I hope you're doing good. People are saying hello to Shelly. Amy says, I find carnivores amazing, but I'm not happy with the weight gain. Doing some research on that. And that is very curious because people typically will go carnivore to lose weight and you're gaining weight. Though I do wonder, like, is your body doing that because it wants to, or is it because you're eating more? Or, there's just so many weird questions there that I'd like to know. And Sean is coming here. Sean says, Lexi, your health and mental well-being is the most important thing. We're happy when you're happy. Hopefully you'll be doing what you're doing now makes you happy. And that's the thing. I mean, really is just finding what's working and what's sustainable, because this should be effortless. Once you find what you're doing, it should be effortless, realistically. And most of the time for me, this lifestyle is effortless just when there are intervention, when there's things kind of blocking that for me, if you know what I mean. Kids, stress. And Amy said, was it Friday? Maybe. I think it was Friday. And Brian's asking Amy how much dairy and cheese. I don't think she's been doing any. Yeah, and she's saying it does, Sean. Since I got back on track, I'm feeling that energy and confidence again, which has been amazing. It feels like how I felt when I first started high fat carnivore, but way easier. Yeah. I mean, as long as you're not having any adverse effects, I mean, because some people, some people have issues with vegetables or seasonings or spices or whatever. As long as you're not having any issues, eat eat what makes you feel good. And I mean physically, not and mentally too. But I think that eat what makes you feel good has been twisted into what they call like self-care. Like you should have self-care, which means go and get ice cream and all these things. And that's not necessarily what you should do. And I'm saying that I'm not even saying we should never do those things either. Because I still think that we should still be living life. And I mean, our ancestors still had sweets from time to time. Birthday. I mean, not maybe birthday cake 10,000 years ago or whatever, but you know, they made cakes in the 1700s, the 1600s. They wasn't an all the time thing. Sugar wasn't around all the time, but they did have it. So I mean, I don't know. And Patricia says, Dustin, roast potatoes are my nemesis. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just like when they're there because they're so delicious. And also the fact, like, because I don't have them all the time, there's that like quality about them that they're so good. Like if you haven't had something in a long time, now there's a caveat to that. So if there hasn't been something that you haven't had in a long time, typically things that mustaches bother me. Hold on. There we go. Um, So, there's certain things that you'll have you haven't had in a long time that just aren't as good as you remember. Like Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen is never going to be as good as you remember. I don't know what it is, but their ice cream is mid AF, right? It's not even ice cream. It's barely ice milk or whatever you want to call it. It's just frozen white stuff they put toppings on. But so it's never as good as you hope it's going to be. And typically, I mean, realistically, something that I found is like usually the first couple of bites are all that really tastes good. Then after that, you're just eating for comfort. So yeah. And Brian says that's why turning off the food noise is so important. That's what the GLP-1s do. It really is incredible. And I'm really super glad that you're able to find success with that, Brian. I'm really proud of you. Sharon Holloway upgraded. Look at that. Sharon Holloway is now a member of the Morning Regulars. Welcome, Sharon. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. That means a lot. Welcome. And Josephine says, if Plains got it right let's see, if Plains got it right this week, I'm hoping when I go camping, I'll be getting away from temptations and back on track. So excited. Yes. That's the thing is, we want to make sure that we're working to get away from the temptations, back on track. It's amazing, and I love it. It does, and Evelyn even says it sounds great, Josephine. That's amazing. Thank you. And Josephine says, I'm hoping to get a few videos, and my son can help me on YouTube. The sunrise and sunset so beautiful. Oh, I love it. Australia is a gorgeous, gorgeous country. I want to visit someday. I have had a friend that was a friend of my friend married a girl from Australia, and she lived here for a couple of years, and then they just realized that they weren't compatible anymore, and so they got divorced, and she moved back to Australia. And I don't really see or hear from her much, but I mean, she's not a big social media person. She's not on Facebook very much. Every once in a while she'll pop up and say hi, I'm alive and that kind of stuff. But I'd love to get down there. I'd love to just like the iconic, Sydney, like the opera house, and just like just the iconic stuff down there, and like, you know, you know, go to Outback for real. You know what I mean? But I appreciate you guys. I love that. I want to visit there someday. And Patricia says, says to Brian Doyle, my son is on GLP-1. The only thing that helps him, wish my late husband would have had that option 20 years ago. Hindsight on that's crazy. So, I mean, I think about this about my mom and stuff. Like, if my mom could have found keto or carnivore all so many years ago, she'd still be here. And then, but so many what ifs and if they could have and all that stuff. I just wish I would have known better then. Evelyn says, my biggest support when I'm jonesing for something is to make sure cheese sticks, hard-boiled egg, or to make sure I have cheese sticks, hard-boiled eggs, fat bombs, and the ice cream trays. Yeah, I mean, that's how I started in the very beginning, was packing my lunch, and I would pack a lunch for like 2 or 3 people. It was ridiculous. And I knew it was absurd. But the madness of it was, if I didn't bring enough food and there was temptation, I'd be more likely to have the temptation items, because in an office setting that I was working, there was always cake, there was always pizza, there was always candy, there was always something. Not every day, but it's an office. So there's always things floating around. People are like, hey, do you want to order Chinese today? Hey, we're going to order pizza. Do you want some? Hey, we're going to do this. Do you want some? Do you want to get in on this? Yeah. I want to go. Yeah, I want to order that. Yeah, that sounds great. So if I packed, like 6 cheese sticks, 8 hard-boiled eggs, a whole package of lunch meat, pepperonis and slices of cheese and pecans with butter. If you've ever never dipped in roasted pecans in butter, you're missing out. I would just make sure I had that stuff every day, and it was easy. It wasn't even really like meal prepping at all. I would just throw it in a bag and go. I really should keep boiled eggs in the fridge more often, but I don't. I have I have the tools to do it. I could do it very easily, but I don't. I should. Yeah, and she's saying, just to make sure that they're truly easily accessible. That's the thing, And just figured it's 12 here, so it is. Was it midnight there? Is it midnight, or it's not? It's not noon. Is it? It's not noon, because it's 7:30. It's 8:19 here in the morning, so it's got to be almost midnight for you. Crazy how that time works. Sharon's hopping downstairs to the iPad. See you in a bit. All right. Amy says, I ate at Saltgrass Steakhouse last night for our anniversary. I got a 16-inch ribeye and a side of 6 jumbo grilled shrimp, no sides. That sounds awesome. But like going to like the steakhouse is one of those things, because they want to bring you the bread and the butter, and or like go to Mexican restaurant, they want to bring you the tortillas and the chips and salsa, and it's so hard to turn it down, because you have that idea of, I'm paying for this, it's part of the package. I mean, and it's not wrong. I mean, you are kind of paying for it, because they are padding that. But that sounds amazing. I love shrimp. I love giant shrimp. And Brian says, Evelyn, I hear you. There are all kinds of substitutions for eating out. You have a book or something? How do we find them? That's a good thing. I'm putting like a substitution book out. That would be great. Amy says, I've decided I'm coming to AMO this year. So we are planning to do Amo, Indiana meetup November the 8th at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. So if you are looking to come and visit with us, we will be putting a link up on, we'll be putting the information up on lowcarbevents.com. Right now, Jennifer's recovering from surgery. So as soon as she's feeling a little bit better, we'll get deep dive into those details, and we'll get Jaqueline and get that all together, and it'll be fun. And Brian saying, happy belated anniversary, Amy. I had no side yesterday. Oh, yeah. And Josephine says, yeah, sounds beautiful. And yeah, roasts. Yes. And Amy says it was beautiful and expensive. It's funny how that works out. Brian Doyle says, I finished my last remodel project of the year yesterday. New bathroom, stairs to the basement, landing a remodeled spare room. Look at you. Look at you doing everything. You want to come to my house and do some stuff? I mean, I ordered some plates. I need to check and see if they've even been delivered. I ordered some plates because we've got those cheap, flimsy cabinets, and they all break apart and they all hang. So I got some of those replacement plates to go in the back to screw everything into. Hopefully that works. And Amy says, I'm ADHD. I'm convinced. On a whim, I decided to buy a new computer desk, so I spent all day tearing up my office. Yeah, one of these days I need to get a new desk for my office because like it's one of those like old school heavy, folding desks that you would make, like you would bring to like a fundraiser. It's old and it's heavy and it's solid, but it doesn't allow me to attach things very well, like lights and stuff. So I have to things are just kind of leaning around. So if I move the wrong way, things may fall over. Or I've got like this stand that holds this microphone, actually should hold three things. It should hold a big light, and it should hold like a camera and all this stuff for me. But I can't get it to bolt on strong enough to really hold all that. So yeah, eventually I'll get around to doing all that and getting I'd like to have like one of those big butcher block desks, but they want like $300-400 for the one this size, and I'm like, I don't have that money. And Evelyn is saying, Brian, I don't know. I have a Facebook page called Keto Helpline. Other than that, I just hang out with me. That's right. And hanging out with Jen says, how do I upgrade my membership? I can't figure it out. If you're on a PC, let me look this up. If you're on a PC and you go to my page, there's a line that says like home, video, shorts, live, podcast, playlist, post, and then membership. And then you should be able to go in and pick your membership, I think. It doesn't let me look at that because I'm the one who creates it. So I don't really have, it says I've been a member for 0 months. So, there's loyalty badges, 12 custom emojis. I think it allows me to have 14 until I have a specific number of members, and I can update that to 20, I think. It's not exactly the clearest thing. But when I look at my channel, and when I look at my channel page, it shows me something a little bit different than what you guys see, but that should be in there. Yeah, and you don't want to sign up with the iPhone because you get charged more because Apple wants their pound of flesh. And that's what Evelyn is saying, that she's signing up. Carl's trying to help her do it. And Patricia says Coco was a great movie. Thanks for the reminder. I love it. We watch it all the time. It's one of those, it just kind of keeps in mind of my grandmother, my great grandmother. And it's kind of cool. I mean, they're bringing some Coco to Animal Kingdom. They took out the Dino-Rama and they're putting in Encanto Coco, and Indiana Jones ride all in that area. So there should be a dark ride taking you through the casita from Encanto. And then I'm not sure what they're doing for Coco. I'm excited about it though, nonetheless. Visual Keto is here. I'm so glad to see you, dear. Good morning, all. Listening from my comfy bed and drinking grape salty before I get up for coffee. Yes, grape salty. I love it. My grape salty here with a Bigfoot mug or the Bigfoot shaker bottle. I love it. I found this at like one of the places that are always together. There's like Home Goods and then the other one that's right next to it. The clothing one. I can't think of it right now. They're always right next to each other. And I just happened to find this one for like $6 a couple of years ago. I have quite the collection. And Amy has upgraded her membership and become a member, or has become a member. Let's see, does it tell me which one she's become? I think so. But morning regular. I think she's up. I think she's joined the YouTuber one. So thank you for that. I don't have a badge for that yet. I need to work on that. Maybe we can put our heads together and we can come up with something cool. But the morning regulars, you get all those perks too. The perks, get it? Perks, percolator. I don't know. Don't judge me. I'm sorry. All right. But thank you, Amy. She says, crap, I joined with the wrong account. Uh-oh. Oh. What you can do is let that one run for the month and then just join with Rock and Coach Amy next month or whatever you want to do. And Evelyn says, Brian, I had to make the restaurants we are regulars at work for me. I order similar things every time, but there are subs to make it interesting. Yeah, that's like, we don't go to very many new places. We go to Rockstar Pizza and they have a full keto menu. Is it clean keto? I mean, it's about as clean as you're going to get at a restaurant. And they have breadsticks. They have their bacon cheese breadsticks. And instead of bacon, I just haven't put pepperoni and sausage on it. And then I do dip it in like nacho cheese sauce. Is that clean? Absolutely not. But I mean, we're going out to dinner and I love it. And it gives me, it almost has like if you don't dip it, it has a almost Totino's party pizza vibe. You know, the square ones that are like $2 now. And they used to be like 75 cents back in the day. Ramen is 47 cents a package now. That's insanity. That's how you know inflation's going crazy when you can barely get 2 for $1 now. It used to be like 5 or 6 for $1. Crazy. Yeah, that's what I thought. Amy says she has 0 dairy and 0 cheese. Salt, meat, butter. Oh, excuse me. And Amy says, sorry, Dustin, I had to cancel. I will join next month on the right channel. Okay. And Josephine has fruit at Christmas time. I mean, why not? I mean, the thing is humans evolved to kind of eat a spectrum of foods, just not every day. My thing is like, we weren't supposed to have apples every day, except maybe like when they're harvest time, you'd have them every day while they were in season, or berries. But you had meat all the time, and unless you didn't have meat, then you were eating anything else you get your hands on. Evelyn upgraded her membership. She is part of the morning regulars. Look at that. I'm excited because I won't be just having like one person talking to on the live stream that I do. I get to have all my friends with me. All right. The morning regulars. There we go. I'm so happy. Thank you so much, Evelyn. And Josephine says, mango and watermelon are my fave since childhood. Yeah, watermelon's good. Mango is okay. I like dried mango, but that's more like candy. Evelyn says, I was surprised when eating regular pizza how sad it was. Fat is where the flavor is. My sausage crust pizza is better. It just depends. Sometimes, like, pizza is just like, I don't know. Domino's has like this like Parmesan stuffed crust pizza. I don't know. Sometimes real pizza just hits the spot. Do I recommend it? If you can't handle it, no. And can I handle it? Probably not. But do I do it sometimes? Absolutely. I'm not a perfect person. And I do things I know I shouldn't do. And Evelyn said, I had to go into a computer. I could not do it from my phone. It's under memberships tabs, upgrade button. Oh, yeah. And Jen says she doesn't have a computer. Oh, that's, yeah. Well, you're more than welcome, dear. And Sean says he was able to do it on an Android. Yeah, so if you've got an Android phone, it may work fine. I don't know, but a lot of people have trouble when it comes to Apple products. Yeah, and Evelyn says Carl's trying to help Jen figure it out. You guys are amazing. This is what I'm talking about. Community is the best. And Sean says go to membership. There should be an upgrade button right beside your memberships. And she's saying it's not. No bueno. Yeah, Evelyn says easier on an Android than an iPhone. And I would show you, but I'm not like, well, let me see. Let me see if I can do something here real quick. Let's see. So when I go into another one of my accounts, one of my YouTube accounts, says our members, thank you, channel members, and it says join. But this is from a PC, then you can join the different tiers. There's friends, the morning regulars, the creator crew. And I'm not sure how that works on the different phones. Oh. She says she did that, nothing, only gave me an option to cancel, not upgrade. Well, that's no good. It might be because was your membership a gift membership to you? Was that a gifted membership, Jen? I can't remember. Cindy, good morning, everyone. Better late than never. And that's what I tell Shanda when she's driving to work and she's acting crazy because she drives fast. Welcome, Cindy Demanchi. I feel like if I say that, people are going to think that that you're this Demanchi. It's not really Demanchi, it's Demanch. Oh, and Josephine said it's 10-13 here. To buy chicken here is $12 each. Yeah, we've got the $5 like they're like $5 $5. They're $4.99 each at Costco. But I mean, obviously you have to have a Costco membership for that to be there. And then I think every store has them. They're about $6 to $8. I don't think anywhere has $12 ones. Not that I'm Whole Foods probably does. But yeah, everything's a little more expensive for you down under, right? You guys are talking amongst yourselves. I appreciate you guys as a community trying to help upgrade memberships. That's amazing. I appreciate that so very much. I really, really do. Cindy says, thanks, Cindy. I had to work late on Wednesday. Hopefully it won't happened too much in the future. Shell was watching, and I watched the replay. Look at that. Have a good day, Amy. Thank you for being a friend. Be safe. Cindy says, I had created several emojis when I added the hail raisers for $2.99 a month. That's right. That's awesome. I love it. Sean says it wouldn't feel like family if you weren't busting my chops. That's how I feel. Cindy's always just mean to me. I don't know. What have I ever done to you? And Brian says, take care, Amy. We'll see you this evening. That's right. Cindy upgraded her membership. Look at that. She has joined the morning regulars. Look at that. You guys are awesome. I love it so very much. You have no idea. I truly appreciate it very much. Yeah, Cindy says I can't do the creator. I know, and it's just one of those things. Like I figured if I was going to make something like that, it would, because it's going to take a lot more time. A lot of time for me to get things together and run polls and make sure that I'm pulling information and showing people exactly how to do all this stuff. Yeah, I understand. But I love you. And I truly do understand. It's a lot. I knew it was a lot making it. I just knew that I needed it to be something that would help me, because I've got to devote actual, extra time to it, because it's not going to content. I'm not putting it out anywhere. I'm just doing it for those who really want the help. Oh, let's see. O'Brien's asking, did you look like I thought? I never know what people look like until I see them, and I'm like, okay. And we're all kind of, we're just people. He goes, not sure what I thought, but that is a great picture. Yeah. Says, now that I have seen the pic of you, maybe you'll come to my live. Come on her live. Okay, yeah. And Sharon's saying, Evelyn, I've tried over the years and you can't do subscription from iPhone or iPad. It's just because they're kind of jerks about it for some reason. I don't know. Like they want because so whenever you pay for a subscription, to me, YouTube takes 30%. And if you do it through Apple, Apple wants 30%, but they charge you an extra 30%. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy. United Carnivore, it's been a while, my friend. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Booby Goats is here. I'm glad to see you, Aaron. Thank you so much. And Jen says, yes, you can, Sharon. I always done it from my phone. Oh, goodness. Target Prime Rib is in the house. Hello, Thomas. How are you doing, my friend? Brian's asking Aaron if she found her step counter. And Andy has upgraded her membership. She is now part of the morning regulars. Woo! I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Andy and Susan. Thank you so very much. I love it. Terry Sue is here. Good morning, Terry Sue. How are you doing? Good to see you. Tom was just telling Brian, long time no see. I'm sure it's been a long time. Sean said, send a photo on upgrading Dustin. Let me see. Let's see here. Let me add it. So I move it from my phone to Google Drive, pull it from the Google Drive, and I'll put it up on the screen so you guys can see it. Shouldn't take very long. Yes. All right. So if you take a look here, he's got it marked off. You can't see my mouse cursor, but he's got it all jumbo sized for everybody to see. An upgrade. But I mean, I think you're on Android, right? Right, Sean? And if you're on Android, you may not be able to see that. If you're not on Android, you may not be able to see it very well. It may not show up the same. But yeah. Tanya said, welcome up. Or, well, what do I get? Tanya said, level up. That's what I'm trying to say. Woo! But welcome. Glad to see you. I hope you are well, dear. And Andy said, I had to get up from my warm, snuggly bed and open my laptop to upgrade. You are worth it. I love you. I love you too, Andy. Now get back to snuggling in bed. It sounds warm and toasty in there. My bed is right there. I can open my curtain here and see it. I hear my fan too. Everybody's saying hello. There we go. Look at that. Hey, Dustin. Hey, everyone. Welcome, Dave. How are you, my friend? Dave Mack. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. How are you, my friend? If you haven't been on Dave's channel, he is always looking for people to tell stories. And he's done, what have you done? 1,300, 1,100, 1,300, some crazy number of interviews. Reach out to him and reach out to me too. I mean, if you haven't been on my channel, reach out to me. My email address is ketosimple@hotmail.com. You can reach out to Dave. I've been on there. You know, just about anybody's been on there. He's amazing. He's great. A lot of awesome questions. Makes you feel right at home, right comfortable. I love it. Tanya says to Brian and Sean, got to go to work soon, getting ready for Oktoberfest. Ooh, sausages. I love sausages. Cindy says, what have you done to me? How much time do you have? Oh, my goodness gracious. Tanya says, I'm a regular. It's not a morning person. I feel that. I understand that very much so. I'm not a morning person either, but yet here we are. I've decided that I needed to be a morning person because I have to get up in the morning on Sundays anyway to get the wife out the door, get her off to work. And I was just sitting watching YouTube, and I figured, you know what? I could go live and hang out with you guys, and started something. I didn't think anybody would show up at 7:30 a.m. on a Sunday. I mean, Dave, it's like what, eight was it 9 o'clock your time in Japan? Oh, coffee. Coffee is the way. We love coffee. Thomas says, speak for yourself, Dustin. I am not people. Oh, meat popsicle. uh, I love all of these things. Risa is here. Good morning, Risa. Sean's asking, just curious, if you gift memberships, can you gift different levels? I think you can. I'm not sure exactly, though. I know that I think you can gift whatever levels you want. Tanya says, thank you, Cindy. I'm always missing something. I'm always missing things, too. That is for Android, yes. Okay. And Tanya says, I missed the giveaway, Cindy. See what the hail? What the hail? And Cindy says, I'm sorry, Tanya. There will be more. Going to have one bigger one available to all members, regardless of level. I have stickers, pins, magnets for Hailraiser level members. Oh my goodness. Hailraisers. Risa says, good morning, Evelyn, Aaron. I love waking up to a new Booby Goats video. I'll watch it after this live stream. Hope Flash is learning his lesson. This is why I don't miss my son at that age. Oh my goodness. I love it. Thank you for sharing Dave's channel. And I haven't checked my email today, or I didn't check it last night either. I haven't checked it today yet. I usually check it after the live stream, but I'll look for it, Thomas. Let me look and see. If I bring my email up now, my computer just makes a bunch of noise. It dings and does things I don't want it to do. So I'll look at it after the stream. Reese is excited to get her prize. I love it. Oh my goodness. She said, I made strudels, all the things, morning till night for 5 days. Oh, strudel. Oh, I want you in my belly. Oh my goodness. I love that. So like Costco has this cinnamon strudel bread, and it being Costco, it's 2 loaves for $10. And it's super heavy, dense cinnamon bread. It's not sweet, really. I mean, it is, but it's not. It's not like iced or anything like that, but oh my goodness, that stuff is so good. And it's like, and you smell it from like 3 aisles over. If it's at your Costco, you know it's there because you smell it like 3 aisles over. And I mean, we get it every once in a while. We shouldn't, but we do because it's one of Shander's favorite things. She's like, give me some cinnamon bread. And I'm like, okay. You know, so. And Risa says, Tanya, I'm not a morning person either. Sean is making pumpkin spice keto chow waffles for the win. I still need to try my new recipe with keto chow and see if it works or if it seizes up like when I tried to make the pudding. If you don't know, I released a video about a year ago or so where I made my own mayonnaise because I figured, you know what? Mayonnaise is the consistency of pudding. It's smooth like pudding. So I was like, why not mix in some keto chow? But it just, did not do what I wanted it to do, and it was a nightmare. It looked like what are those called? Cocoa wheats. And they would be like, they'd have the commercials where it's so scary. Yeah, and Cindy says, yeah, if you can keto-fy it, let us know. Yeah, let us all know. I'd love some strudel truffles. And Brian says, Cindy, doesn't work get in the way of everything? Sure is nice having that problem. Sure is nice not having that problem any longer. Yeah, I agree. And Evelyn says that she made keto chow pumpkin spice caramel fudge for a potluck on Friday. Yes. What do people think of it? And Risa says, Tanya, I've been trying to adapt it for years. Tried adapting for years. Yeah. Just some things you can't. There's just some things you can't make keto or low carb and have them actually taste good. And Sean says, that sounds amazing, Evelyn. I have to join Keto Fudge Anonymous after the meetup in March because it was that addicting. Oh, I still have never made it before, but now it's harder to find the keto. It's harder to find Lily's chips now, and Lily's has changed their recipe, so it's not always the best now. Evelyn says, I've made strudel like dish out of mozzarella bread and good jelly. Oh. Holly Springer is in the house. Good morning, friends. Yes. Cindy says, I made some Instant Pot yogurt the other day using Fairlife 2% and Faye 2% and added heavy whipping cream. Yeah, Chandra likes the Faye 5%, but it's hard to find. I have to go to Walmart doesn't carry it. They only carry the 2%. And Kroger will carry the 5%, but they're almost always out of it. Or I have to go to somewhere like Fresh Time and pay double. And Evelyn says, I know, right? Keto chow fudge is easy and so good. And Rick hasn't even been here yet to see his own emoji. And Cindy says, recipe, please, Evelyn, or bring me some. That's right. Bring me some. And Andy says, that's awesome, Cindy. Good morning to you and Brian and Max. Good morning. And Brian's asking, what is Good Jelly? Good is a brand. They have different kinds of jellies. I think they have a marmalade. They have I know they have a raspberry, and I know they have grape because I've bought it before. It's just a very, very low sugar brand of jams, jellies. I think they have peanut butter, but I don't think I've seen it before. Yeah, the Good is the name brand, made with stevia, sugar free. Cindy says our Walmart has the 5% Faye. Kroger has it. Yeah, our Walmart doesn't carry the 5%, but our Walmart's weird because Chandra loves the Great Value sugar-free whipped cream and the green and purple can. And for some reason, the Walmart we go to the most doesn't carry it, so I have to make runs to the. I mean, they're the same distance, but they're just one's easier to get to in and out. One's easier to get in and out of and get home than the other one, and the one that's harder to get to in and out of the one that carries it. And they carry other stuff too. Like Steve from Serious Keto made a video the other day about some keto pita bread things, and I got them about a year ago or so. I bought some and I tried them. They were not good. They did not taste good at all, so I didn't review them or anything like that. And then I saw them on clearance the other day, and I was like, yeah, I'm not buying those because they were gross. I tried to make pizzas out of them, but the Joseph Lavish bread ones are pretty good if you can find those. They're pretty low carb for an entire pita. I mean, net carb, not necessarily. I mean, the total carbs aren't that bad, but could be worse. Evelyn says, I use apricot good on my holiday ham. Holiday ham. Oh, Lady O is in the house. Good morning, oh, Lady O. I'm glad to see you. Thank you for being here. I love it. Oh, Brian says Rick is working today, may have left already. I was looking forward to him to seeing his emoji. Oh my goodness. Let's see. So one thing that I want to talk about while I'm kind of at the end of the comments is celebrating that I have been able to, outside of last week, like earlier in the week, after that little meltdown that I had, my own little meltdown that I had with the potatoes, I've actually done very well. So basically what I do that kind of works for me is I go down and have my food and eat my food and then go upstairs. And I mean, it's kind of like running from your problems in a way, but I have work to do in this office. I have work to do up here. And if I'm avoiding them eating whatever they want, because last night I went downstairs after working out a bunch of stuff and they were making the little smokies that are covered in like the dough. They're like little pigs in a blanket. And I'm like, oh my God, I gotta eat like all of them. The thing is like, I couldn't have just one or two. I would eat the entire package. And that's the problem with that kind of stuff for me. And so I made myself some food. What did I make yesterday? I made steakums and onions with a little bit of cheese in it. And it was so good. I ate that and I really enjoyed it. And but I was able to eat that and not worry about what they were making. Then, obviously doing things I had to do, dishes, and then do laundry and do all these things. And so I try to keep myself busy. Staying busy is one of the biggest ways that I can maintain control, because if I'm on at least a little bit of track, if I'm on track at least a little or mostly, I don't get hungry. And if I can keep myself busy and out of the kitchen, I'm better off. And being at home all the time makes that a little difficult. So I try to stay up here and not really hide away, but like just stay away from everything going on downstairs, because there's always snacks. There's always things. And whatever's in the fridge, there's this, that, and the other. Like the other day, the daughter brought home this bean and stick cake from Aldi. Now I've had bean and stick and it was really, really good up in Wisconsin from this local place that made it fresh. It was like this German bakery and they made bean and stick and it was like some of the best stuff I've ever had. But I looked at this one and it didn't look anything like what I've had from that small German bakery. So I was like, I was really frustrated. I'm like, why do you buy this? She got it because that Chandra likes it. And I mean, who doesn't like it? But I'm like, you're doing this and like you're buying this stuff for us, and that derails us. Because if Chandra's derailed, it's easier for me to derail because she's kind of what keeps me focused and on track for the most part. And I mean, I'm my own person, obviously, and I do what I can to stay on track as well. But it's so much harder to stay on track if she's off track. Like we went to the apple orchard a couple weeks ago, so we've got a bunch of apples. And so she had also made up like apple pie filling or whatever, which is basically like cut up apples. And then instead of using sweetener, the daughter made it for Chandra using sugar and cinnamon. And I'm like, ugh. And I know she means well because she's doing what Chandra asks her to do and all that stuff. But it's like that just becomes difficult because then it means that Chandra's not on track. And I do everything in my power to keep her on track because that's what a partnership is. And we work together. That's the whole point of this thing is, and we've done it very well. Now we go off track together sometimes. That's just the nature of the beast, I think. Doing it 9 years, if we hadn't been on track some, it would be kind of a strange thing, right? But just navigating this new living situation is just, I mean, it kind of creates, you know, it creates new issues, new problems, new solutions, new workarounds, and we're figuring those out. And I knew that this is what was going to be. And that's like one of the reasons why when we first started talking about, me losing my office and the granddaughter taking it over for her bedroom, that was never the issue. The issue, I mean, obviously me losing my space is I have a place to go, door to close, and it's my place. And it's quiet. Like this is not quiet. Like if somebody comes in here, they're going to hear everything I say, and I'm going to hear if they come in with like their phone on or whatever, you're going to hear it. There's no real, I mean, there's visual separation and that's it. There's no sound separation. Now, in here, I do have the sound dampening so it doesn't echo in here. So it sounds good to you guys, but I still hear everything that happens outside of this little cubby. And that's fine. I mean, I'm lucky to still have the ability to have this in our room. But like the issues that I have with the situation, the food situation downstairs. I mean, like I was looking at, they were making some soup last night and I was looking at it, like for a serving of soup, it's like 36 carbs. And I'm like, that's a soda. And they don't look at things like that. They just don't. They don't care. It's just not in their, their zeitgeist, if you will. But, my cravings are better. I've been pretty much on plan. I did go and get one diet or a Coke Zero Friday from McDonald's. I've been doing it like every day, and I've cut back, and I've only had one this last week, so I consider that a win. I figure I'll give myself maybe one a week, one every other week or something, just to kind of keep from going crazy. And if I start to feel better without it, and I can be okay without it, then I won't get one. But we'll play that by ear. And I mean, because I still go to the McDonald's at least once a week because the granddaughter wants to make, a Happy Meal once a week or whatever. So, what kind of celebrations have you guys had this week? What are some wins you've had? Lisa's here. Good morning, Lisa. Welcome, welcome. Glad to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Glad to see you. I trust you're feeling better. Evelyn said, I saw that the Keto Twins used apricot, good, and hot sauce to make a sweet and sour dip for crab rangoon cheese sticks. Oh, that sounds phenomenal. Oh, I'd love that. That sounds really good. I wonder if that's any good. It'd be cool if I could figure a way to make like crab rangoon chaffles, because I love crab rangoon. They're so yummy. If I could make a chaffle, so it kind of give me that little bit of a crunch, but trying to find like regular crab, like imitation crab is so carby. I do get, there's some at Sam's Club that's like half the carbs the regular imitation crab has. So I'll get that from time to time just to kind of scratch that itch. And Lisa says she saw that too. And so did Cindy. Like I kind of wonder, like, the Keto Twins, I don't know, do they have, I mean, they have like their own Facebook group, but they don't really they don't do lives and things like that. They're not like in a community. You don't really see them doing meetups and all that stuff. Does anybody find that strange? I mean, maybe they kind of came at a time where that wasn't something that you did or whatever. It's like kind of how Steve from Serious Keto is, but he came on one of my lives once. So let me know. There's that. I just kind of wonder, like, to me, like, it'd be hard to be a YouTuber and not involved in the community. But maybe that's just, I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. And Risa said those mozzarella sticks look so good. Yeah, they really did. I think I saw just a little bit of the preview. And Holly's asking, Evelyn, did you try the Keto Twin zucchini chocolate chip muffins? They were so good. John is in the house. Good morning, John. So glad to see you. How are you doing, my friend? Good morning, everyone, he says. People are still saying hello. Risa says, Dustin, I always bring my food with me and I don't bring packages or stuff with me so I don't eat it all. I don't nibble. There are all kinds of stuff in that kitchen that will attack. Yeah. That's the thing is like I try to be so good and I try to make sure like for me, the saving grace for me is hot dogs. And I know they're not the best, but they keep me from going absolutely insane because I could take a package of hot dogs out of the refrigerator, throw them in the air fryer, 12 minutes at 425, and they come out kind of like they've been on the grill. And I dip them in some mustard with a little bit of sriracha, and I love it. And it helps keep me on track, and I don't have to put a lot of effort into it. I can do that while I'm doing something else. Like I can do that, and they're cooking while I'm doing some dishes or whatever I'm doing in the kitchen or whatever I'm doing downstairs. And I try to do that. That like just having those in the fridge does truly, truly help me so very much. What are some things that you keep on hand at all times that helps you? For me, I have the hot dogs. Really, right now, that's what I have. I have hot dogs because it's just easy. I don't have any meal prep. I need to meal prep some more waffles. I need to make a big batch of waffles tonight. Like so I have them for this week because the girl needs her sandwiches, and I like having them too to make something too. But yeah, what's one or two things that you always have on hand, whether it's keto chow, boiled eggs, bacon, whatever it is? What are a couple of things that you don't go very long without having in the fridge that keeps you from going crazy or off track? I want to know. Hey, Zeus is asking, is here anybody a fan of ground turkey? Ground turkey's okay sometimes. Like our daughter will make like turkey burgers sometimes, and they hit the spot. But normally, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I think they're a little dry. And ground pork is fine if it's. I like sausage, but not necessarily just ground pork. What say you? And Hangimogen says I can get to it by going into desktop mode, but it doesn't go through for some reason. So I'll have to wait till I figure it out. Don't want to erase being a member for almost a month. Well, I appreciate that, and I truly appreciate you trying. I don't understand why they make it so difficult, but they do, unfortunately. And I've had a couple of people over time where they were just struggling trying to figure it out. It took them way longer than it should have to figure it out. Because I mean, it should be something that is very simple. I mean, realistically, for Apple, they don't really care unless they're getting a cut. So if they're not going to get a cut, they don't want it easy for you. So I mean that's why YouTube typically makes it relatively easy to do because they're getting a cut. But on when it comes to Apple products, if they're not getting a cut, they don't want it to be easy for anybody, which is kind of one reason. Like I know eventually, just for video editing, I'm probably going to switch to a Mac. I don't know if I'll ever switch to iPhone or not, but I might for a second line, depending on how I feel about things. I don't know for sure, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. But I just that walled garden effect of Apple and how much control they have to have. I don't think they would need that much control. And Risa says to Jesus, I love ground pork. Prefer it over ground turkey. I'll add it to ground turkey dishes to give it flavor. Turkey is bland, especially with the white meat. Yeah, sometimes I will, when I make chili, I'll add some ground turkey in just to give it a little volume. But I like ground chicken. If you could find ground chicken, it makes great meatballs. There's a whole meatball thing going on with keto chow and stuff too. And Jen says, so I make that what I went silent. Okay. And Holly says, Jesus, I use ground pork to make meat crust pizza. And Risa normally uses ground beef for her pizza. And Holly says, Teresa, usually use ground chicken, tastes more like non-keto. Yeah, I need to try that. I need to try to make a ground, like a pizza, like a chicken crust pizza, and see how, with actual ground chicken. And Evelyn says, sorry to you, Jen, that you couldn't figure it out. Yeah, they just make it so difficult. I understand why, unfortunately, but you know. Yeah, Jen says that she can get to it now, just got to figure out why it won't work when she tries to upgrade it. That I'm not sure of. They don't give us a lot of information. And Jeff Fafa says it's easier to stay on track for me if I keep busy also. Yeah, like for me, it was one of those things like it was easier for me when I was going to a job and going and being in the office, because then I would, I wouldn't pack a lunch because I was doing OMAD while I was working towards the end of that job, because I wanted to eat at home with the family. So I made sure that I ate around 7 o'clock when I got home to be with everybody. So that was easier. And then when I switched jobs, I still didn't bring anything. Well, I mean, for a while when I first started that job, I needed all the help I could get. So I was making myself fat, like the fatty coffee again, like I drink now. But I was putting in some coconut oil to help with the brain so I could absorb all the new stuff and learn all the new things. Because, when you're going to a new job, it's a lot of stuff to learn. And Cindy says, one regular soda Mountain Dew is about 77 carbs. Well, I look at it kind of like this. I kind of look at like a can of soda. I always think of a can. And an average about 39 to 40 for a can. So, yeah. So Coca-Cola's 39, Pepsi's 40, Dr. Pepper 40. Yeah, so it's roughly like 37, 35. That's all in the soda range really, but people don't think about it like that. People they don't consider the carbohydrates that are in the food, like the rice. And they're like, well, fruit's healthy. Well, fruit is good for you if that's the only carbohydrate you're going to have that day. But if you're balancing that on top of rice, bread, tortilla chips, beans, cereal, macaroni, pasta, all these things, that just adds up. And I think that I'd be curious to really get a good idea of exactly how many carbohydrates the average American intakes per day. Think about it, because there is one Dunkin' Donuts beverage. It's 100 grams of carbohydrates, basically. It's like 90 grams of carbohydrates, 90 grams of sugar, basically. That's crazy. You drink one of those, you're already over like what you would need. Like if you had whatever. I think even 100 sounds crazy now. So as somebody who's lived under 20, 20 total for so long, the idea of 5Xing that is insane. Now, again, I have done that before. You know what I mean? I'd say we've gone to dinner, we've had, we've gone to Cheesecake Factory or whatever one time or here or there. You know what I mean? I've only been to Cheesecake Factory once in Indiana. I went once in Texas years and years ago. I was still keto at the time, but It was where like I went down for my sister, and we took my sister and her new husband because we were down there for the wedding. We took her and her husband to dinner. A buddy of mine, I was staying with a buddy of mine, and my buddy and his wife and I took, on my sister and her husband went to dinner, and yeah, we went to Cheesecake Factory. That place is crazy. That place is insane. Okay. And yeah, I think I mean, that's not a real place to go if you're a carb person, if you're difficult with carbs. Yeah. Hey, Zeus says, thanks everyone. This is why I appreciate this community. I'm going to Aldi and getting their ground pork. I actually like their ground turkey. A little dry, but I like it. I mean, you could always even add a little bit of butter into it, a little extra fat, you know, or even when it's done, put a little bit of butter on top. Delicious. Evelyn said, I stuck to my fast even with a potluck at work. I put in extra cinnamon in the fudge to make sure I wouldn't touch it. OMG. Oh my gracious. Oh, that is insanity. I love it. It's crazy though. Like I don't want to eat this. I want everybody else to eat it. So I'm going to put cinnamon in there. Like what? Oh my goodness gracious, lady. That works, doesn't it? Oh my goodness, I saw something. Let me see if I can find the article. Because there was something that I figured we could talk about because we talk about it all the time. Let's see if I can find the article. I don't know if it's real or not because like okay, so let me talk about this. So they're talking about us. There's currently no Buc-ee's locations in Branson, Missouri. But what they are, so one was announced to begin construction in late 2025 with a grand opening anticipated for 2026. If plans materialize, this Buc-ee's will be the largest ever built. The nearest Buc-ee's is located in Springfield, Missouri, which is a significant drive. Now, this is anticipated size. The anticipated size of this facility is expected to be massive, far larger than any existing Buc-ee's, with officials calling it the Disney World of gas stations. Features will include over 500 fuel pumps. 500 fuel pumps. I think they average about 100 to 200 fuel pumps per location right now. It's going to have 500. That's crazy. With a large scale brisket smokehouse. While an announcement was made, construction is slated to begin later in 2025 with an expected opening of 2026. That's crazy. The Springfield location, Missouri, is 53,000 square feet. So this one's supposed to be significantly bigger. Now I have these questions for you. Would a gigantic Buc-ee's location like this be something you would travel to see? As I've never been to Branson, because Branson's really not on the way to anywhere. You actually have to, Branson's a destination, but it's not on the way. Like you can get to Missouri, but like you take I-70 through Missouri, but that's still a decent trip down in through Missouri to get to Branson. Would you go and stop at the Disney World of gas stations? Right now, I think the biggest gas station is in Iowa. It has like a truck chrome shop, all kinds of stuff. And I mean, we stopped at a truck stop in Nebraska. I want to say it was Nebraska. They had like a movie theater inside and a church. It was crazy. Cindy says, Holly, I have made zucchini chalk muffins by All Day I Dream About Food a long time ago. They are great. Okay. Andy says, I am learning patience in all things, emotionally, financially, and spiritually. It's been a good week. I'm grateful. Well, I am so proud of you. I'm so very proud of you, dear. So very proud of you. And Lisa says, man, I'm doing all right. Just surviving at the moment, but I did get to spend some time with a friend yesterday, and I have to say is just what I needed. Yeah, never do this alone. We should never be alone. We should not be alone. We should always be with those who care about us and we care about, whether it's in a situation like this where it's a chat. You can hear me and you can see me and I can see your chats, but I don't get to see your smiley face, but we know each other are there. And I appreciate it. And old lady O says crab rangoon chaffles sounds so good. They really do. Evelyn says, I bet you could use their mix in a chaffle maker. They used canned crab. I have canned crab, I'm pretty sure, in the fridge or in the pantry. Jesus says, not strange, but I feel that they need more. They're more into it for the money. Well, I mean, there's not a ton of money to be made with YouTube, but I'm sure they're making it there for the two of them. It's probably not as much. If it was just like a solo creator for what they make on YouTube, it'd probably be enough. But I think both their husbands have good jobs or whatever. But yeah, I mean, yeah. But I mean, I'm sure. But realistically, if you're spending as much time creating as they are, they should get compensated for it. And I think every YouTuber who puts in effort and shows up and puts out consistent content should get compensated for what they do. It takes time to build that up to where you're getting compensated. But I don't. The idea that the idea that YouTubers should do this for free and they should enjoy it, they should just do it for the. I mean, yes, I do this for the community, but I still have to make sure my bills are paid. I still have to make sure that, I've got to make I'm never gonna be in the black on this channel, and that's fine. That's why I'm starting to do, looking at the health coach stuff, and the channel itself is never gonna bring me an income that's sustainable, but I'm still going to do it, because you guys are very important to me. Speaking of people who are awesome, Helen is here. Cave Woman Eats. Hey. I'm at the gym. Just listen as I work out. Anyway, I have problems. Anyway, I love it. Thank you for listening, Helen. And then our lady O says, maybe Chris Carnivore in Nashville. Karen Harrington is in the house. Good morning, Karen. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Let's see. Evil Lynn says, good morning. With your evil laugh. I love it. And Lisa says she found a new Zevia flavor at Meijer the other day and grabbed a pack to try. It was salted caramel. How does that? I'm not a fan. I want to like Zevia because it's the one that I can find, and they have grape. And they have grape at just about any store that I go to. But I just don't like Zevia. Like their flavors, I just don't like. I want it to be cheap soda flavor, and they've got like a bougie soda flavor, and I don't like it. It's like I remember Jones soda back in the day. Jones, I used to love the green apple soda. I think I sent them an email a long time ago to be on a live with me. I remember starting an email. I don't remember if I ever actually sent it or not because I wasn't sure if it was actually their email. But I would love to have them sit down with me and talk about their journey into keto, their journey into the channel, what, what they love about having a channel, what they don't like. I'd love to just have a good conversation with them. They don't live far from me. They're only like 3.5 hours away because they live just outside of Chicago, I think. And then, Steve from Serious Keto lives not too far from my sister-in-law. They live in adjacent towns. So, Cindy's telling Jesus, I like ground pork. I have to doctor up ground turkey. I love it. All right. And Holly says, Cindy, I will up that recipe. The keto twins was so easy and mainly almond butter and zucchini. And Jesus says, I trust content creators that do live streams more because I feel they're doing it for the love of the community. Well, yes, I would agree to that to a certain degree, but also when they started, live streams weren't really a thing because live streams like we see them now are relatively new. And I mean, it takes another commitment to do a live stream. If you want it to look professional, you've got to invest in another program like EV Mux or StreamYard. And really, depending on those kind of platforms, what kind of, what you have the availability to use is limited. And I mean, EV Mux gives me a lot of flexibility. And it's more affordable than StreamYard. But, but that's a whole other thing. It's something else to learn. So, I mean, I would say like for people starting now, 100%, I think if you're starting a channel now, you would want to incorporate, lives, but realistically to be a well-rounded creator and to be, I think honestly successful in YouTube has a lot of features involved in it. There's long form content, there's short content. And if you want to make compelling shorts, takes time. To make compelling long form content takes time. And if you want to invest the time to start doing live stream content, that takes time. And you have to get good at it. I mean, it takes time to be able to sit down and talk to a group of people for 1, 2, 3 hours and make it entertaining to where they want to stick around. They don't want to leave and never come back. So, and then there's like all the community posts and then the things that you put together if you're going to have memberships. It really becomes a full-time job very quickly, and a full-time job that doesn't pay very well unless, they always say that there's no luck involved, but I believe that there is a certain amount of luck involved in YouTube because there's luck in choosing and choosing a niche that aligns with what you're passionate about and something that you are truly passionate about enough to put the work in. That is one that aligns with YouTube viewers and what can go viral and all that. Like Mr. Beast is Mr. Beast because he likes the sensational. He likes putting together these gigantic productions, but he has to get 100 million views or more every video. Like if he put out a video and only got 1 million views, it would be an abysmal failure. But if I put a video out and get 1 million views, I'm over the moon. But for someone like Mr. Beast, he has to put a video out and it has to get 60, 70, 80, 100 million, 200 million views to not even break even. He still has to have sponsorships to pay millions of dollars that goes into his productions. He's got warehouses in North Carolina that he's filming multiple videos in at any given time. He's got a whole compound, acres and acres of land that he films all this stuff in. So He's probably one of the best paid YouTubers, but he's not making, I mean, he makes money, yes, but it's not like, but it all goes right back into it because it has to. Otherwise, he can't continue to make the content that he makes because his stuff has to be so over the top. But he's lucky in the fact that his obsession works because he is literally obsessed with YouTube. He lives in his YouTube studio in like a big compound. Like that's where he lives. So, someone like you're just starting out and, you're not sure what you want to do with YouTube. And then if you're lucky enough for what you're truly passionate about to really click and resonate with people, there's some luck in that, but there's a lot of work behind it. The luck is getting and understanding or finding what you want to make and what you're truly passionate about. And the luck is having it click with YouTube. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway. Yeah, and Lisa says, "Good morning, Andy. Say hi to Susan for me." Yes, say hi to Susan for me. I hope you're doing good, Susan. If you hear me, give Andy a hug for me. Anyway, hanging out with Jen says, "I always keep sandwich meat, but I never go without soft-boiled eggs." Soft-boiled eggs are my jam. I love them so much. Soft-boiled eggs are where it's at because hard-boiled eggs get so dry in your mouth. I don't like them. But soft-boiled eggs with some salt, I'm here for it. Thank you, Jen. Jesus says hard-boiled eggs and hot dogs. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, we keep eggs in the house. We keep anywhere from 5 to 10 dozen eggs at a time, which is crazy because like our kids think we're insane. But like that means our son, our son-in-law or whatever, could take a dozen eggs on Monday to work. He's got a little egg cooker that he keeps there, like one of those little 7 egg cookers or whatever. He's got one of those, keeps at work. He can take a dozen eggs and cook them every day at work, and it takes just a couple of minutes to cook those. And he can take a whole dozen, and I don't even notice. Because I typically buy 10 dozen eggs at a time. And Lisa says, I always have eggs on hand. And Karen says bacon, 100%. We always have bacon. It's not always cooked. Holly Springer says, I keep burgers in the freezer. That's my go-to. I keep burger patties in the freezer. I try to keep the steakums in the freezer. Jeff Fafa keeps ground beef jerky. I just haven't done that before. I need to try and do that and see how it turns out. But I only have an oven. I don't have a dehydrator. I mean, I have a dehydrator in the garage, but it's one of those plastic ones. So we'll have to see. And Lisa says, I used to eat ground turkey all the time. Yeah. Carl comes in. He says, we always have pepperoni and blocks of cheese. I go through phases where I have pepperoni and I eat it like crazy. Then I'll have it and I'll forget it and it gets moldy. I agree on air fryer hot dogs and fry bologna. Oh my goodness, so good. And Shelly King says eggs, lunch meat, yogurt, heavy whipping cream. We probably have usually 4 gallons of heavy whipping cream in the fridge at any given time. I usually buy at least 2 gallons at a time. So we probably go through way more heavy whipping cream than I even think of, but it lasts for so long. Like I bought the heavy cream that we have in the fridge a couple of weeks ago, and it's still good through like the end of October. So it doesn't go bad. And Carl says ground turkey is great with bacon grease. That's what I'm talking about. Turkey burgers cooked in bacon grease. Yes. Risa says I have chaffles prepped, keto chow to help me. I do keep cracked snacks and perfect keto Nola bars for work so I don't eat crap at work. Yeah, I like the Nola bars. I'm an affiliate with Perfect Keto. I don't really ever talk about it, but anytime you want to buy from Perfect Keto, just hit up my link and just buy from them if you want to. I always suggest not buying from them until there's a big sale. But yeah, I do have an affiliate link at ketosymbol.shop for Perfect Keto if that's something that you want. I'm not a crack. I don't have a cracked affiliate link or anything like that. But I never even got a chance to try them. I thought they were just way too expensive. And it's hard for me to justify promoting something. Now, if you guys like them and wanted me to have an affiliate with them, I would do it. But it's just not something that I don't feel comfortable being like, here, buy this. It's 10 bars for $50. That's crazy. Shelly says, I always forget about chaffles. And he makes them up. Do they freeze okay? Well, so what I use is the new recipe that I have. You can, I mean, they make so easy. I mean, realistically, if you have 2 Dash Minis, then you can make them in just like a few minutes, probably not even 10 total minutes with pulling the ingredients out, whipping it up, and pouring it in the waffle makers. If you haven't seen my new video, Shelly, it's a carnivore chaffle, just 3 ingredients, just egg, mayo, and gelatin. Unflavored beef gelatin is what I have, but you could use the Knox, would be fine. That's a bovine gelatin. And the video, I have it in the description on the recipe for both the big Dash waffle maker that I have as well as the minis. And you can make them in any size you want. They go in the fridge. It lasts about a week in the fridge. So if you made, like a week's worth, so like enough for like 5-6 sandwiches, they would last a week. But I would say realistically, you could just make them 1 sandwich at a time and pretty easy if you had the time. But I mean, take a look at the video and let me know what you think. Risa says, hey, Helen, what time are you going live? My time, not yours. Yeah. The time that it's so crazy that we interact with people on the other side of the planet. Like Josephine's here from Australia. We've got Helen from Wales. We've got we also have Rebecca comes in from South Africa. That's insane to me. Oh my goodness. Evelyn says, I usually make a batch of sweet and a batch of savory chaffles for the week. I have keto brick in the ice cube trays, eggs, hard-boiled pepperoni, cheese, pork rinds, pre-cooked ground beef. Evelyn's got it on lockdown, right? Carl says, I love it when Evelyn makes your yogurt. It helps me a ton. Yeah. Evelyn makes yogurt. Jesus says, I also have cottage cheese and some strawberries or Granny Smith apple. My go-to if I want something quick snack. Yeah, that sounds amazing. And Evelyn says, yes, they freeze great. Becky's in the house. Good morning, Becky from Texas. Deep in the heart of Texas. Stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of... Anyway, I'll stop now. Sorry. If you've never seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I'm sure that's a real thing in Texas, but I saw it in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Risa says, I also keep hard-boiled eggs on hand. I will bring a couple with me to work and some pork belly bites. Heat the pork in the microwave. Great satiating meal. That sounds amazing. I love that. Yeah, and Risa's saying to Shelly, yes, they freeze well. And Cindy is saying to Jesus, I agree, and why I do 2 live streams a week, most every week, and less traveling, of course. And really, I mean, live streams help with watch hours and maintaining your monetization. And I mean, it's really, I mean, it just keeps you in touch with people, because I mean, the community is what helps me. It truly does help me. And without you guys, where would I be? I would be up a creek without a paddle for sure. And Shelly says, I also have real good chicken in the freezer for nights. I don't have proteins prepped to add to my meals. Yeah, I like those to a degree. I wish they were just, yeah, I need to get some actual just chicken chunks and then make my own like battered chicken or whatever. Because I make a good batter and it's good and I like it a lot. I need to make some of those because the chicken tenders I make are so good. And I don't feel guilty about eating like 10 of them. Sonny's in the house. Good morning, Sonny. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad to see you, my dear. And Jesus is asking Evelyn, do pork rinds spike glucose? I'm going to substitute for my chip cravings. Well, it depends on what kind of pork rinds you get. Some pork rinds have sugar in them. Some have maltodextrin in them. But realistically, they should be about a carb per serving or less. So just be sure to look at your ingredients, look at your macros, look at your ingredients and see stuff like pork and good are really clean. They do have sweet, they have savory, and they're relatively clean. I would suggest if you can find them in stores, buy them, like at Walmart or somewhere. If you can find them in your Walmart, buy them that way. I do have an affiliate link in my KetoSimple.shop, but they're so expensive online, so I don't really ever promote that. But I mean, if you can find them at Walmart, buy them at Walmart 100%. But I'm also trying to get them to make a dang hot mustard flavor. So if you guys would all run over to their Instagram, message their social media team and say, hey, we want hot mustard. We want hot mustard. Even if you don't want hot mustard, I do. I want it to be like the Doritos hot mustard flavor. That's what I want. I want it to have that mustardy, like horseradishy, so good. I want it. I need it. And I don't want to have to buy Doritos to get it. And they only have it like every couple of years anyway. I had one bag, and thankfully, somebody sent me that bag. Another content creator sent me that bag. She was like, here, I'll send you one from California. I was like, holy crap, thanks. It's so amazing. Terry Sue says, I drug myself out of bed, made coffee. Lately, I don't like coming alive until 6 a.m. Pacific time. Coffee is tasting good. Coffee is the best. Cheers. And Lisa says, that is insane for that Dunkin' Donuts drink. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, let's see. With a large pumpkin swirl frozen coffee contains 183 grams of sugar. Woo! Oh my goodness. It's like a 32-ounce coffee. I like a big coffee. Goodness gracious. That's crazy. I was trying to figure something out, but yeah, it's the let's see. Yeah, that's insane. It's a pumpkin swirl. That's a story from 2024. Risa says, I bought Dunkin' ground pumpkin flavored coffee yesterday. Didn't realize it had artificial flavor in it. Well, I mean, yeah, I wanted to make cold brew with it as a change of pace. Why artificial flavor necessary? Well, I mean, really, if you're thinking about it, they're putting it into a dried coffee that's got all be shelf stable. So whenever, I mean, artificial flavor isn't necessarily bad. Doesn't make it necessarily bad. I would test it and see how it works for you. I mean, if you test it, see how it is. It shouldn't be sweet. It's just going to be enough just to give you that little bit of a pumpkin flavor, like a pumpkin spice flavor, but it's not going to be sweet. You'll just need your own sweetener and cream and stuff. That's like, I like the Starbucks mocha, the mocha ground coffee. When I would make my cold brew coffee, I would take like 3 parts regular Kirkland ground coffee with one part of the mocha ground Starbucks coffee, because that stuff was like expensive per bag. So I would do that, and then I would let it soak, and it would get almost like make a chocolate milk, and it wouldn't be sweet. It would just be so delicious. Terry Sue says, I tried ground pork once thinking it would be pretty yummy with salt and pepper, but it wasn't impressive. It just depends, really, you know. And Risa says, Dunkin' is too carby in general. Well, Dunkin' was always one of those places back in the day. I remember I have a friend who lived in Chicago forever, and she would tell me, because she would come down here and visit for shows and stuff, because she was a promoter. She used to work at the Riviera Theater in Chicago, running the stage and stuff. And so she would come down here for special events and stuff for shows. And she'd be like, "Where's your Dunkin'?" I'm like, "We don't have them anymore." She was like, "What? No Dunkin'?" Because like she would just order a Dunkin' coffee, and it would basically come pre-sugared and pre-creamed. You just order a coffee, and they would just hand you a cream and sugar coffee. That's just the way they did it back at Dunkin'. I don't know if they do that now, but this was, in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s when they were doing that. But Starbucks can get pretty carby too. I mean, you figure like they have a lot of those like frappuccinos with the caramel and the chocolate and all the things in it. They get pretty carby. They're probably getting close to 60, 70, 80 carbs, depending on if you're getting a venti or a Trenti, And Lisa says, I think it's time for me to go and visit Cindy so I can visit the Buc-ee's by her. That's right. And of course, Cindy would say, no, I would not travel to a bigger Buc-ee's with having one close by. We rarely go there even. Well, I would definitely go. I want to see what 500 gas pumps look like. Like do they have a tram taking you from the back gas pump to the front so you can go buy a shop? Like it's crazy when you go to the really big ones. Because I've been to some of the smaller ones, like the one just outside of Austin wasn't a very large Buc-ee's. And I think the one just in Kentucky, just outside of Bowling Green, isn't that large. But like the ones in Atlanta, they're pretty big. Or the ones near like the one in Alabama is massive. Karen said, I would, but I'm only an hour from Branson. That would be amazing. Andy says, I haven't been to Branson since 2003. No way I'm going for a gas station. Would you go for a Yakov Smirnoff? I hear he still has a residency there. I would go to see Branson. Branson's kind of like, isn't Branson like Gatlinburg, but in the Midwest kind of thing? Isn't that what that is? Sean's asking, has anyone started setting up meetups for next year yet? Shell and I are already planning on going on the low carb cruise next year. We're talking about doing meat stock, but it is so close to the cruise. And meat stock's expensive though, right? Meat stock is, I mean, I had to make a lot more money. I need a lot more money for that. I know we'll be doing a meetup in May. Like we always typically do one in May. Hopefully we'll get 2KK out again for that. If they're going to be in there, we'll see what's going on. And Sean says, need more options to see everyone. I imagine there's going to be low carb. There's going to be Hack Your Health. There's going to be all those, the normal ones, right? Kevin's here. Tuber Chat Connect and Grow. YouTuber is here. Word up. Glad to see you, Kevin. I'm glad to see you, buddy. And kind of watching your channel, Kevin, that's kind of given me an idea. Like, so what I've done is I've created a tier of memberships for people who want to see how I make content, see how I do thumbnails, because I spend so much time doing it all. And I think if anybody's a new creator, I've created that tier of membership. So I think that's kind of cool. And I'll do live streams and curate to what people are looking for. But I kind of got that idea. I was like, because I've been helping people and I see your channel and it helps people in that direction. I think it's pretty awesome. It might even be something that you could do as well. Lisa says, well, Dustin, since you're not far away from me, we need to meet up someday soon. Yeah, we are not that far away, really. In a big Dustin hug for sure. Just let me know when. Thumbs up and share it on Reddit. Thank you, Kevin. Cindy says, Sean, meet up at your or meet up at our house playing bingo. Right, Evelyn? Oh, my goodness. Terry Sue says, it's best to listen and do stuff rather than sitting in front of a screen all day, but we do get stuck here from time to time. Yeah. I listen to a lot. I listen to a lot of the lives while I'm doing stuff. Like if I'm driving, I'm listening to some lives sometimes, or if I'm in the kitchen doing things like dishes or meal prepping or whatever, I'm carrying my phone around when there's no one around the house. Sometimes I'll put my earbuds in. It's important. It's important. Sean said, I just need a date. Well, see if Shell will go with you. She'll be your date. Risa said, salted caramel Zevia is so good. Can only find it on Amazon. Oh, my goodness. Tuber chat, Kevin says, green apple soda equals Monster Energy. I like the sugar-free. They finally came out with that OG Monster Energy, the OG flavor, and I'm really glad they did because I actually kind of like that flavor better than like all the other, like the white can and all that stuff, the peach. I like that stuff better. So I'm always excited about that. I like the original Monster. I like the original OG throwback Rockstar sugar free. I buy that. I had to get that on Amazon. I can't buy that anywhere else, and that drives me crazy. I'm trying it, and I'm going to go in here because I want everybody to make sure that they are going over to hang out with Coach Bronson after our session here today. The truth about metabolic flexibility. That's at 7 p.m. That's not for today. I want to make sure that I'm doing this right. Maybe they don't have it set up yet for today. I've got a semi-retired Bob Live, and I got a truth about metabolic flexibility from Keto Bikini Secrets, which is Coach Nat. So I guess they don't have it up here right now. So I'll check again right before I end the stream. So it's 10 o'clock, and I'll be into that probably in a little while here. Cindy says, I have sent an email to Keto Twins before about coming on live, not even a response. So that's, yeah. Terry Sue, I have never been a soda pop junkie except for when I go to McDonald's. They do have the great Coke there, and you have to have it with the really salty fries and burgers. But that's a rare cheat I do now and then. Yeah, I like that I've got the Coke Zero, and I love a good Coke Zero. Good cold Coke Zero. I'm into it. And I'm glad they have it now because I didn't used to be able to because I didn't because they only had Diet Coke, and that's gross. It'd be cool to have like their Sprite version of Sprite Zero, that real spicy Sprite. You know what I mean? Look who it is, y'all. Chris Cookin' Nashville's in the house. Howdy, y'all. Hey, my friend. How are you doing, buddy? I'm glad to see you. So very glad to see you, Chris. How are you, Ash and the pup, Mel? Everybody wants to know how Mel is. Everybody's happy to see Chris. Chris is the best. Just so long as I've seen Chris in person. I saw him in February, and I figured I would see him again a few times so far, but I have not. I was hoping to go to low carb for better, or low carb for better health, but I didn't end up being there. That was not a good time, but I wanted to be. I was there in spirit. Terry Sue says live streams are good because you don't have to edit, one and done. Basically, the big worry is staying, talking, and watching for morons saying lame crap. Well, that's what I try to do with this. Is I set my subscribers to 1 minute or 5 minutes, so it's harder for people to come in and do and say dumb things because they're not going to say things because they're usually not going to. They're not going to subscribe to say crap. And Chris is right here. So the live streams also don't get pushed out to the larger groups as easily. So if you want to reach and help people, it takes many formats. Yeah. So making compelling content. So talking about stuff, whether it's controversial or helpful or whatever, it does take, that's why it takes it takes long forms, shorts, live streams, community posts. It takes all of them. It's kind of like spinning plates. It really is like spinning plates. Keto in the midst. Oh my goodness, it's been a while. Welcome, welcome. So glad to see you. Just popping in. It's too early in California. Oh, I can only imagine how early it is there for you. But thank you for popping in. And Helen says, I want to earn money on YouTube. I put lots of hours in. I love it too. And I am passionate. It's not charity work. It's work. That's 100%. I mean, there's a charity aspect to this because we do give so much of our time. And even if we were to make a good amount of money, I still probably wouldn't be enough to cover the time it takes to make all the content and the editing and the practice and all that stuff. Yeah. And Thomas says lives can be hard for sure. Yeah, but I think lives are very rewarding because they're very right now. Because most of the views that I get from a live are live. I get a handful of of views in the end for people who don't get up this early, who still want to interact, and I'll get a couple of comments. But yeah, I mean, lives are really good in the moment. They're really good for right now, but they are not always. They don't really get a lot of views outside of right now. So when this goes into replay mode, I won't get maybe 20 more views or so. But we do this because of community. The community aspect of the live is so important. So you guys sharing these out and becoming members and commenting and being here week after week is truly, truly important. And Sean's asking Helen, how's it going so far? Saw her live yesterday, was doing really well. I love it. And Cindy says, lives are just fun for me, Chris. I would love to get you back on talk more about what's going on with you. Yeah. I mean, we don't even really know what's going on. Like I had to, the other day I looked down at our group chat and Victor had left the group and I'm like, what did Chris do now? So I reached out to Victor and I was like, is everything okay? And he goes, yeah, what do you mean? I was like, oh, you left our group. And he goes, oh, I had to get a new phone. I was like, ugh, what did Chris do now? But yeah, he had to get a new phone. He dropped his phone. He had to upgrade his phone. So I had to go back and add him to our groups. But everybody's been so busy. I think right now Victor is like sitting in a camper asleep next to a lake right now. So he's living his best life. Oh, and I'm using my coaster. So thanks to Matt Franklin for making this for me. This is a coaster that I keep. I have 4 of them, but I keep this one right here on my desk, and I keep my my coffee on it right here. So I always have a coaster. So people make awesome things, and I appreciate that, and I love it. Cindy made me a coaster, and it's over here, but it keeps sliding down. Cindy and Brian made this coaster for me. So if you guys want some cool coasters, head on over to Cindy's page and check that out, and she'll make you whatever you want. But for some reason, this doesn't like to stand upright. It likes to slide down for some weird reason. I try to keep it standing up, but it doesn't. I don't even know if you can see it in the. There it is. And I got my Ninja Turtles right here. I got some Ninja Turtles. I got my Ghost figure. But when I turn around, you can't see it. It's there, though. Just know that I care and I love all of you guys, and it's there. It's just harder in this little setup to get things to be viewed because I can't pull this little shelf closer than it bangs my elbow. And that's not fun. I don't want to bang my elbow. Bang your head, though. Bang your head. Anyway, Lisa says, I love your live, Cindy. I haven't been able to be there because of what has been going on, but I've been having therapy on days of your lives, the days of our lives. I just found out that like why they're called soap operas is because they were trying to sell dish soap and laundry soap to the housewives who were at home. So they called them soap operas. The more you know. Terry Sue, LOL, Cindy, I think you're fine. Having Rick on is a good test for that. Yeah. Andy says, she hears you, Dustin, and everyone else. All right. Hope you guys are all warm and toasty in your bed. I love that. Lisa says, I know, Cindy, and I'm just trying to just love venting there and miss it. Yeah, you're here. You know what I mean? Like, talk about whatever you need to talk about. You know, get it out. Terry Sue, it helps to having good moderators to help keep the riffraff out, right? So having good moderators and setting it to members to having or subscribers only is very important. Terry says, funny chats are good as it keeps our cortisol levels at bay when we laugh and joke. And that's really all I can do. Evelyn says, some of us moderators are the riffraff. That's right. 100%. One thing I wish that I could see the top fans in EV Mux. Maybe they'll open that up eventually. Maybe, I don't know, but that'd be really nice. Sean says, family riffraff is different than regular riffraff. 100%. I love it. Jen says, when I cook my turkey burgers, I season them well, add butter in the middle, and form my burgers around it. So that sounds awesome. That sounds like the way to do it. And then add a little bit of, add some bacon grease in the pan as well. Thomas says, I loved fried bologna, but I always had to have it with mustard. Yeah, mustard's good. I eat mustard almost every day. I buy the double packs from Costco for $4 or whatever it is. The the 2 giant containers. I love it. And like sardines were on sale at Costco, so I bought a dozen cans of sardines. But I've been feeding them to the cat too. The cat likes to get those. He's been such a good boy, bringing home all kinds of things. I just like lots of guts on the floor of our garage. Cindy says, I try hard to keep them fun, depending on the person's story, of course. Even then, at some point, we will lighten things up. Life is too short to be so serious all the time. That's right. Terry Sue says, I like fried bologna with a side of cottage cheese for some reason. They go well together. The thing is, like, you know, my grandmother got me started on like fried bologna. She would always make fried bologna sandwiches, but she would get it super thin sliced, not shaved from the deli. But I just sometimes I'll pick up. I mean, it's bologna's terrible. It's full of seed oils. It's awful for us, right? Like Oscar Mayer bologna or whatever, like or Eckrich. I like Eckrich bologna. I grew up eating Eckrich bologna on wheat bread, and that's like one of those like. And so sometimes I will get a loaf of the better good or whatever the brand is now from Walmart. They have a wheat bread keto loaf, and it's not keto by any stretch of the imagination. Is it better than regular bread? I'm going to say it is. But is it good for you? Probably not. But if I really want that bologna and wheat bread, then I will do that. I'll get some of that. I'll get those two things. And then it reminds me of my grandmother. I just love bologna. Like, because I remember growing up when I was a kid, we would have white bread with Cheese Whiz sandwiches. put them in the microwave. Man, that stuff is so good. I mean, like how I remember it was good, but it may not be that good now. And Cindy says nothing wrong with a little bit of mustard. That's right. 50, that's a no-go for me. What's $50, Lisa? I don't remember. I don't know what we're talking about. Terry Sue says, I agree that mustard is a non-issue. Thomas says, I know, just haven't had it in a while. Mustard really does help because if you're eating all the fatty meats, it helps cut that fat because there's the acidity in the mustard and they really pair well together and helps cut the fat. And I mean, there's not really anything in there, just some like a little bit of spice, some mustard seed and vinegar. I don't think there's any, I mean, if you buy just regular French's mustard, there's no sugar in it. Lisa says, I love my mustard. I'm a weirdo for putting mustard on my eggs. That might be good. And Terry says, I put mustard on my hard-boiled eggs sometimes. And Jen says, I have a Dash waffle maker that makes 4 at a time. So that helps prepping. Yeah, me too. I have the square one. They're bigger than the round one. So the 4-inch round ones, they're less volume than the big square ones. Oh, that's what she's talking about. Okay. Risa says crack snacks are very expensive, but I keep a couple of boxes around for that chocolate fix. I eat maybe 2 bars a month, so a couple of boxes last a few months for me. Hubby and son don't know about them. Well, I better keep those hidden. And Thomas goes, I'm here from the planet New Jersey. I was talking about New Jersey the other day because I keep thinking I think about like New York being here. Like New York, and like here's like the east side of here's the East Coast and the West Coast. And I always think of New Jersey being east of New York, but it's actually west of New York, which really throws me off because I mean I should know geography, but I don't. And also New Jersey is much, much bigger than people think it is. People think of New Jersey, they just think of Newark. But there's more bears per capita in New Jersey than there are any other state outside of Alaska. Jen says mustard and eggs is good. Yeah. Risa says we're on the same planet. I'm in Warren County. I'm in Monmouth. Okay. Carl says, Pee Wee. I'm totally picturing him standing in the phone booth. Yes. Deep in the heart of Texas. Terry says, I've been on a beef jerky kick trying recipes from the interwebs. Jerky is a great purse meat. Purse meat. That needs to be that I need to make that into a logo. Purse meat. Purse meat. Let's see what this does. Let's see if I can make a logo for purse meat. We'll see what happens. And Cindy's saying hello to Carl. Carl. Make sure I said purse meat and not meat purse. Oh my goodness. Some of this stuff is so weird when it comes back. I would love to show you all this stuff. Ooh. Evelyn says, I like to make eggs into tamagoyaki. It's a Japanese rolled omelet. It can be eaten warm or cold. It's great for lunch boxes. Interesting. Maybe make a video on that, Evelyn, how you make it. Can you do that? That'd be awesome. Lisa says, Carl, I remember Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and it's been years since I need to watch it again because I haven't seen it in so long. I used to watch it when I was a kid. Like there's like the scene where he's like pulling the chain out of the bike to lock it up at that like shopping place or whatever. And like you can see the bottom of it, the chain's coming in, and it's like he's just pulling it in. You can see it coming from outside. Risa Risa says, Thomas, I used to live in the Woodbridge area, moved here in 2000. Yeah, and Holly says, Evelyn, why don't you have a cooking channel? Your ideas sound so good. 1000%. Evelyn, you need a channel. I will help you. I will make sure you get it done. We'll get it done. You got Carl. Carl knows things. Let's do it. You don't even have to really be on camera. Terry says, I roasted a giant tray of wings the other day. They are good cold and easy to reheat. I love wings. We go to BW3s all the time on Tuesdays. It's really nice not having to do a Tuesday night live, because that's when we like to do our date nights on Tuesdays. Now we do them in the morning. So now we can skip out and go get B-dubs at night, and I love it. Oh my goodness. So Friday, I dropped the girl off at school. Shannon was at work. So I took the girl to school, and then I had to run to the post office. And as I was coming out of the post office, my phone gave me an alarm, and it said it's Shander's brother's birthday. So I'm like, okay, it's 9 a.m. I'm like, hey, happy birthday, Scott. How's being 60? He's not 60, but he's probably 50, 51, something like that now. But I was like, hey, how you doing? How's being 60? He goes, it's not my birthday. For some reason, my phone gave me the alarm a week early. I went back and looked at it. His birthday's the 3rd. My alarm said it was the 6th, and it let me know on Friday. So yeah, he was like, so when are we getting together? And I'm like, I don't know. And I was talking to Chandra, because he's always trying to get us to go to B-dubs. I was like, we need to go get together with him on a Tuesday. And she's like, she's like, ugh. I'm like, I like her brother. Her brother's awesome. I like her family. They're my family now. We've been together so long. They're my family now, for good or for bad. That's how I look at it. I mean, she grew up with them, so obviously she has her own feelings, but Exposing Darkness is here. Good morning, Steph. Welcome. Jerry's here. I chose to do lives after dark. No one to compete with. I love Jerry. She does some funny stuff in her lives too. What's one of your favorite things to do when you go live, Jerry? Tell the group. I mean, you do it after dark. It is dark when you go live. It's late at night, so you could do all the late night things you want. But let them know what you do in your lives. Let them know. Oh my goodness. Risa says, I used to have the videotapes of Pee Wee. Went down the YouTube Pee Wee rabbit hole a few months ago. I get obsessed with Pee Wee at times. I remember watching Pee Wee on Saturday morning cartoons. I used to watch him on Saturday morning cartoons. I loved it. I loved his Pee Wee's Playhouse. That was awesome. It was so good. Weird, but good. I bet you didn't know who sung the Pee Wee's Playhouse theme song, right? Do you know who sang that? I bet you didn't. I'll give you guys a few minutes to get and put that in the comments, but I know who sang it. And then there was a lot of people who were regulars on the show that went on to be famous actors. Thomas says, oh, okay, I used to live in Point Pleasant. Now I live in Wall. I worked at the Woodbridge Mall a few times in my old job. Evelyn says, I know myself enough to know that I wouldn't handle haters too well. It would spiral me into depression. I'm super sensitive. Yeah, that's why I would say you don't look at the comments. Let Carl handle the comments. You just worry about making the content and getting your recipes out there. I think your recipes would be great and people would love them, and you wouldn't even have to deal with the comments. Carl could curate the comments and let you respond to the good ones. I mean, realistically, bad comments help just as much as the good ones do. Chris Cook in Nashville says, Evelyn, I feel that one of my biggest struggles is hateful people combined with RSD. I've stepped away from comment section mostly because of it. Yeah. So is Ash handling your comment section more so than you now, Chris? Or are you guys just kind of leaving it as it is and not responding? Because I mean, a lot of bigger YouTubers just don't even respond to comments anymore because it's so much. They just can't. There's just too many, and that's understandable. Terry's asking, how many monitors do I have? Currently, I'm running 3. One kind of goes unused. I've got a laptop monitor, the laptop that's open right here with nothing on it right now, and then I've got the screen that I'm looking at right here that's above me that's got everything on it. Then I've got the big one over here. So I'm running it's a 14-inch, 27-inch, and a 65-inch. I have a couple more monitors in the room, but I don't have them hooked up. I don't have the dock that I have is only two monitors out from the laptop. I could get a 3 one or 4, but they just start getting too expensive, and I don't really need them right now. And Evelyn says, I know you know, Chris, when watching your videos coming out from the autism closet, I identify with a lot of what you said. Yeah, I think that, I mean, a lot of us are very sensitive. Like, I'm very fortunate that I don't get a lot of bad comments, but also I kind of wonder, like, my videos don't really get into the general, like, because I was talking about this with Victor the other day. My biggest long form video was my early chaffle recipe that's got 40,000 views, but it's only got 200,000 impressions. So out of 200,000 impressions, it's got 40,000 views or whatever. And like a video, he showed me like the analytics of a video he had put out 6 hours earlier. It had almost 900,000 impressions. So they don't push my videos out that far. And I mean, it's rightfully so. I mean, I'm a very niche in a niche market, I guess, but you know, that's okay. And I'm not complaining by any stretch of the imagination. I understand how the algorithm works. But I think if I were to get pushed out further into YouTube space, then I would get more bad comments. But I think because I am so niched in, I get fewer views. So the most people who are watching are people who want to watch and they find value in what I make. So I'm very fortunate in that. And Terry Sue says, keep in mind that artificial flavors can be beaver. No, that's natural flavors, Terry. Terry would be beaver butt juice. That would be a natural flavor. Artificial flavors are making something taste like something with something else that's not considered natural. So natural flavors would be the butt juice that mimics vanilla. So keep that in mind. So that's a natural flavor, not an artificial flavor, because it comes from a natural source like the beaver butt. Okay, the more you know. Some of my start darks come with a warning. Terry says, thinking about all the teenagers who are hooked on coffee shop coffee is not a good start. Yeah, I think that, I mean, I've been to Starbucks like twice this last week. I don't normally go to Starbucks, but again, it's right outside of my neighborhood now. So it's more likely to happen because I'll be like, oh, there's a Starbucks. I can just grab a coffee real quick. I don't have to go home and make it. But and they're going to make it less strong than I make it, so it's probably better for me. But yeah, I mean, it's a social thing for people. Get together for coffee. That's a place, like, it's kind of like a workspace. You go buy a coffee, and you can sit there for a couple hours and work on your laptop, get some work done. You know, like a freelance person, whatever, you know. I think that that's not such a bad thing, you know. Yeah, so I think, that's not a big deal. I think that's a good thing about that. There's so many coffee shops, it's more of a social thing. People get together for coffee, like coffee dates. I would love to be able to go to have coffee dates with people. We've got a couple of coffee shops around here that I would love to go and stop by and visit and stuff, like flights of espresso and all that stuff. That'd be awesome. You know, I would love it. I would love it. Oh my goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Chris is saying, I appreciate that, Evelyn. It was a healing thing to put that on, honestly. It seems to have encouraged and resonated with a lot of people. I haven't checked back. How is that video doing, Chris? Jerry just woke up, can't type nor read. I understand that. I have that problem all the time. Holly said, Chris Cook in Nashville, have you watched Law and Lumber on YouTube? He talks about his ADHD and his superpower. I think that's kind of how Chris is too, a little bit. I think that, and he'll probably he'll attest to that. Like, he's able to kind of like hyper focus on things sometimes. It may not be always the best thing, but like just the ability to like to super hyper focus on stuff. I wish I could do that. Sonny says, I wish we had a Bucky's around here. There are none in Kansas. I want went to one last year, although on my way to Atlanta. I loved it. Yeah, Atlanta has one on both sides, both north and south of Atlanta. That's good. I've been to both of those on the way to Florida and back from Florida. We stop at both. Because I mean, really, like it's like a 2 hour gap between the two of them. So like you're ready to go potty again. At least I am. Lisa says, you just say the word and I will make plans. It will have to be on the well, it'd have to be on the well, I mean, it could be during the week for me. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'm just I'm down for it whenever we can get together. Jeff says, Chris Cook in Nashville, love your butter mayo. Listen to that. I love it. I did have somebody, he says, hey, thanks, Jeff. I did have somebody who made my waffle recipe with butter mayo, and they said it was a little too greasy. So maybe if you're using the butter mayo, maybe you cut back on the amount of mayo you put in the recipe. Um, I I'd like to know if anybody has enough of the bacon grease mayo to see how it turns out. I'm curious about that. Let's see. In the middle of the forest, Jerry says, Kevin, finally do, let's see, KMT classes and plan to pop on tonight to your live. All right. And Terry Sue was asking, what is the difference between Diet Coke and Coke Zero? Well, Diet Coke is kind of its own flavor. Diet Coke doesn't taste like regular Coke. Diet Coke tastes like Diet Coke. And Coke Zero tastes more like Coca Cola Classic. So it's more like just a zero sugar version of Coke, where Diet Coke to me tastes like chemicals. It doesn't taste like a beverage that I'd want to consume. But Shander loves it, and my kids love it, and I don't. So Coke Zero is just one of those things that it came along that I like a lot. Risa is asking, did anyone see the video Steak and Butter Gal did on McDonald's and what their meat really is made of? Very eye-opening. I haven't eaten McDonald's in many years, probably 10 to 15, no urge. I haven't watched that video, but my understanding is their meat is full beef. But I need to know like where what she had to say and where she got her information from, because my understanding is the McDonald's burger is actually just beef. Now it might be like the low quality, low common denominator beef, but still beef nonetheless. Chris says, I'm feeling fine and fancy free. We're all sitting on the porch enjoying fresh air and coffee. I love that. I love you and Ash and Mel, especially Mel. I'm glad you guys are here today and enjoying the weather, enjoying the outside and the coffee, especially the coffee. Uh, Cindy, again with rude comments, says, if you like Diet Coke, Coke Zero tastes awful. I missed you a lot, Chris. I really do. I miss doing Keto Crusade. It's been a long time. It's been like 6 or 9 months. It's been a long time. It doesn't even feel like it's been that long, to be honest, because we were doing them once a month, and then like we missed that month, and it's just been like not. I miss it, and people have been asking about it. But hopefully we'll be able to get together soon for that. Evelyn says, Chris, now that you've been diagnosed, can I have your T-shirt? Undiagnosed, but pretty sure. I think that's a good shirt. I think that mean like because you can be undiagnosed but pretty sure about a lot of things. You know, I mean, there's a lot of things that you could be undiagnosed about, but diagnosed with. You know what I mean? There's just a lot of that. I think that would work just fine for that. You know, there's a lot of things out there that I think would work fine for that. Or did I already did it? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yes. But I love it. And Risa says, I'm about to go out on the deck. Sun just came out around here. That's nice. I can't tell if the sun's up or not. I'm pretty sure it is, but I got back there, right back there is an actual window, and there's 2 blackout curtains there. So the sun does not come in and interrupt. I can do this day or night, and there's no difference really in how my studio looks. Risa says, I was on my deck for an hour yesterday. Our rain finally ended, and it was glorious outside. I try to sit out a little every day unless it's raining, even in winter without snow. I love it. What's happening? What? So, me too, Cindy. I need Mickey Dustin, quarter pound Aussie meat in my life. What's happening? And Lisa says, community is so important. Something I need right now more than ever. 100%. I'm so glad you're here. Very glad you're here. And Cindy's like, what, Jerry? She says Mickey D's, not Mickey Dustin. Oh, goodness. All right. That makes sense. Chris says, Cindy, when I get my cookbook manuscript turned in, I'd love to come back on. I love it. How is that going? How many recipes are you going to have, Chris? Do you have any insight? Do you have any teasers for everybody for this cookbook that you're going to be putting out? Because we're all going to buy one, so we need to know some teasers. Teasers, but nothing spoiler. Don't spoil anything. Just kind of give us an idea of how many recipes are going to be in there. And Thomas is asking, but did you get the email I sent you? I haven't checked my email yet today, and I don't like opening it up when I'm on my live because it makes all kinds of noises. So I'll check it as soon as the live is done, and I'll reply to you, sir. Let's see. And Jerry says, I need McDonald's. We call it Mickey D's. Yes. Chris says, thanks, Evelyn. I'm really excited about his cookbook because she says that she can't wait for it. Never seen a cookbook like this, and I'm stoked. I can't wait to see it. Is it gonna have a spiral bounding on it like Wes's did? Because Wes put out two versions of his cookbook, one like a hardcover version, then he put a spiral bound version. And I have the spiral bound version. I love that version. That version's the best. Cindy says, go to the dollar store and get a little holder for the coaster. I'll do what I can. And Terry says, you need a man cave. I had one. It was my office. I had a whole room to myself. But now I just have a little corner of my room, of our bedroom. So there's nowhere for me to have a man cave. There's nowhere to have a man cave. There's just not anymore. There's too many people living in my house. I always wanted to turn, we have a big bonus room, loft area that I wanted to turn into a theater room, but Chandra took her eBay stuff from downstairs and moved it upstairs. So now she has even more space. But I mean, fair enough. It pays a lot of the bills. So that's perfectly acceptable and understandable. Jen says, I have to get off of here. Have a great day or night, everyone. Well, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you so very much. Thank you. Thank you. Terry says, I'm fasting today for a scan tomorrow. It's going to be rough while watching football. Oh, yeah. I got to see how the Colts are doing. The Colts are 3-0 this so far this season. Oh, and Sonny says, having a horizontal live versus a vertical live keeps the trolls out too. Yeah, I think that's one thing that that YouTube is going to start doing. They're going to be doing vertical as well as horizontal lives. So I don't know how that's going to work with platforms like EV but I will do whatever I can. I'll go live both at the same time, and I'll keep the same thing. I'll keep the same thing with I'll keep the same thing with 5 minutes in between, because I don't need the trolls. I want people to watch, but I don't need people saying dumb stuff to me. And Terry says, Evelyn, a picture makes me think your husband is Dr. Barry. Yeah, Terry Sue, we wish you the best of luck for your scan, dear. Evelyn says, Terry Sue, my hubby is Carl Keto Dog. That's right. Fried bologna and egg sandwiches. Yum. I love it. Jerry says, I grew up with fried bologna and Usinger's ring bologna. Yeah. I grew up with Eckrich bologna as a kid. And Miracle Whip. I never had Miracle Whip. I wasn't a big fan of that. Terry says, mustard is good with sardines too long. Along with, I use sriracha and mustard. I like sriracha and mustard a lot on those. It's one of my favorite stuff. I really like it a lot. Hmm. All right. Come on, man. There we go. Let's see if this does it now. Oh, I'm trying to do something fun for you guys, and it's being kind of a jerk face a little bit. but it'll be worth it, I promise. There we go. There we go. Let's see. Let's see if I can make it work now. There we go. That's what I was working on. There we go. Purse meat emoji. Oh, Evelyn says, okay, everyone talking bologna. Everybody grow up. Ham salad made from grinding up bologna. Gross. No thanks. Cindy says, no, Evelyn. Yes to ham salad, but no to making it with bologna. Oh. Terry says, yes, fried egg sandwiches are so good. Missing bread is the worst part of carnivore to me. Try my carnivore waffles and see what you think, Terry Sue. You can use the mayo of your choice. You can use a true carnivore mayo if you want, or I use the Chosen Foods, which is about as clean a mayo you're going to find in the grocery. But let me know what you think. And Lisa says I'm directionally challenged myself, Dustin. You know what I mean? It's just going to be what's going on. That's what I've got. Terry Sue, purse meat is a thing. Now look, I made you an emoji, a purse meat emoji. So you guys can use those. Now, purse meat. Oh my goodness. Another one. Don't forget your purse chaffles. That's right. Yeah, Lisa. I would love that. Evelyn says, nope, my mom bought the huge roll of bologna unsliced. We had to put it through the meat grinder, add mayo and relish, and sometimes chopped green olives. Ugh. No, I can't. I'm not into it. Risa says, I smoke chicken wings. How do you get the papers around them? Anyway, on my Ninja wood fire grill, 22 minutes on smoke setting, 10 minutes on high grill setting to brown them. OMG. I cook a ton at a time and a ton at a time. That's a lot to say real fast. Eat them out of the refrigerator. That sounds. Paul Rubens created Pee Wee for college as an adult-oriented spoof on kids shows, performed on stage, and then got picked up for a kids' TV. Yeah, I mean it's funny how that stuff happens, right? That's what I'm talking about. There you go. That's what I'm talking about, Jerry. And then you guess the color of it too. Take off your bra and you guess the color of it. I caught that and I about spit out whatever I was drinking. It was hilarious. I love it. Tell my real life stories. And Cindy says, you are too funny. I agree. Literally just the naked truth. Pee Wee's Playhouse. Yes. Saturday mornings after Friday night drinking. Yes. Cyndi Lauper, 100%. It was her. She was uncredited, but it was her. Chris says, we hired a personal assistant to handle the bulk of it. Ash handles a few, and I take the really personal ones. That's awesome. I'm so glad that you're able to kind of delegate that stuff, because while all the comments are super important, but when you get to a certain size, it's just overwhelming and you're spending way too much time with that. There's so much time involved and you just can't. You know what I mean? It's just impossible. And Terry Sujet says, you can always turn the comments off, but I think human nature makes us curious. Why does one bad comment piss people off so much when it's surrounded by 100 good ones? It is weird how the one bad comment will kind of throw everything else for a loop, right? It is crazy about that. Like, I don't understand that myself. Yeah, and if you turn the comments off, Chris is right. Yeah, you turn the comments off and it hurts your algorithm. And with RSD, it's massively more intense to receive that one bad comment. Unfortunately, it's a struggle sometimes. Yeah, and that's why, I mean, realistically, so happy that I don't receive bad comments very much. I've had some stuff to people tell me to clean my stove or whatever. But most of the time now, I would just be like, I would just say something funny back to them. And Cindy is saying that bad comments don't bother her. We spawn. Thank you for watching. Just because other people, it's more personal to get that too. Yeah, and I mean, once you get to be a certain size, it's just the comments are just overwhelming, good or bad. And just let the comments do what they do, and people are gonna. And I mean, you're gonna get to a point where you get to a certain size where people fight your battles for you in the comments section anyway. They're gonna go in and mess with people, the moderators or whatever. But having a personal assistant handle that's pretty awesome. I'm really proud of you, Chris. Really, you're doing a lot of amazing things, and you were doing that stuff long before we ever met. But you know, it's awesome to see somebody doing the damn thing. Risa says, I just spilled coffee. Oh no, party foul. But hopefully it should be a pretty easy cleanup. I think those are sealed, right? And Sean's right. It's weird. So, like, my dad used to always tell me that it takes 1,000 attaboy, to make up for one shit negative comment things that stand out because they hit harder to our insecurities. 100%. I mean, it really does. Especially when you work really hard on something, whether you don't get enough views or you get a bad comment or, you check that video that you put so much work into and it's like a 10 out of 10, which is not good. You would think 10 out of 10 would be good. You want a 1 out of 10 when you're looking at analytics. Oh, and all over my pants, not having a good morning, spilled coffee grinds all over the floor. Oh, you know what? If that's the worst that happens today, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. Just sweep up the coffee grinds. It's going to be fine. Little spilled coffee. Just make another cup. You're going to be just fine, dear. And Risa says, I delete bad comments. I don't want the bad mojo on my channel. I don't necessarily delete bad comments because I think they paint a picture. And I don't think, also I don't really get a lot of bad comments, but I've never deleted a comment off my thing. It would have to be, for me, I set word boundaries for my channel. So if whether you're in a chat or in a comment, if you say one of those words, it doesn't come through. So I'm okay with that. I mean, because I don't want to get political. I don't want to get, I don't want all this stuff going on, this, that, and the other, and all the infighting that comes with that. Because then that goes against what I want. That goes against everything. So, you know, I don't need it. So I don't really have to delete. I don't have to delete them, but I have set words that don't allow them to come through, so to speak. You can set those you can go in and set that in your customizations and all that stuff. I need to see now if Coach Bronson and Coach Nat have their live set up for today, because they should be live any minute. We'll be late to that because I still am about about 23 minutes behind. I don't think they're going live today. I think they may be out of town. Okay. All right. Well, that's okay. We'll be fine. Chris is almost 30,000 views on. That's amazing. I'm so glad, because I think there's so many people out there who could really benefit from that information. Again, knowing you're not alone is so very valuable. I love it. And Chris says, yes, the hyper focus is a superpower if you can harness it and stay regulated and not burn out. Yeah, that, like, you need an Ash to be like, all right, let's go do this now. We're going to do this. We're going to hyper focus on this on Mondays. We're going to do this on Tuesdays. We're going to do this on Wednesdays. And those are the things that we're going to hyper focus on or whatever. And because I think sometimes I get stressed out if I don't have the time to hyper focus on things that I want to do. Like, I feel that if I don't get an opportunity to come and sit in this office and work, I feel burned out if I feel like I'm being drugged in too many different directions. Amy's back. Back again. Momentarily, she says. Sean says, awesome, Chris. If that's not an affirmation of how much you're loved and appreciated in this community, I don't know what is. 100%. I'm trying to get through these comments so we can end this thing sometime today. We're over 3 hours and 15 minutes now, and I know you guys got stuff to do. I've got stuff to do. And Chris says, Sean, you are correct. I can't deny the community has embraced my crazy brain more than anywhere I've ever been. And we're lucky to have you, Chris. We're so very lucky to have you in our community, you and Ash. And I'm just so thrilled that we have a chance. We've had a chance to meet and get to know each other. And same thing with Evelyn and Cindy and all these amazing people that I've had a chance to meet in person. You know, it's just one of those things. Evelyn said, well, let's see. I have not had McDonald's since going keto 6 years ago. No desire to try it. Terry says, Bella said the small burger patties have extra binders in them that the quarter-pound patties are just beef. Okay. I've heard Mickey D beef is 100% beef if that's the quarter-pound patties, but the smaller ones are questionable. That's the one that kids eat. That's what drives me crazy. So if like what's in the little cheeseburgers that's what's in the McDoubles, the double cheeseburgers, the cheeseburgers that the kids get, and they're putting all these fillers in it. That's for that drives me insane. So it just Amy says, I've got to run again, visiting mother-in-law, Mama Phyllis in the nursing home. Gil, glad see you all tonight. All right, we love you. Amy, be safe. Let's see. Risa says, huge spider on my deck. No, I came back in, got warm, worn hubby. So we were talking about this last night. The kids were letting the dogs out, and there was a gigantic spider building a gigantic web on our back door. And I'm like, as long as he's outside, she or she's fine, because they're going to catch a lot of bugs because they build up near the light. And I'm like, that's fine with me, as long as you don't come in. This thing was like this big. It was a giant one. No, thanks. I'd be like, I'd run. It's like time to move. Just leave everything and go. Sonny says, if it's any consolation, Chris, I think most of us have a little bit of that crazy brain. Yeah. Chris has 130 recipes. The book gets professionally more complex, so you become a better chef as you work through it. And it has multiple chapters that go beyond just the recipes to teach kitchen skill. Look at that. I knew you were going to go deep. I knew you couldn't just put a recipe book together. You got to go deep and you got to go hard. And that's what I love about you, Chris. I knew you were going to do something awesome. Evelyn says, I need a signed copy. I need a signed copy by Ash, Chris, and a paw print from Mel. Oh, that's going to be awesome. Spiral bound or not would be up to the publisher. Okay. Well, I mean, because I know that the spiral bound works well because it'll lay flat on your kitchen counter. So yeah, you may want to ask them if it's possible to do both, because I think the spiral bound was a little more expensive to buy, depending on what the profit margins are. Everybody wants a signed copy, Chris. Everybody wants a signed copy. Look at this. Sunday Chronicles with 5 gifted Keto Simba memberships. Thank you so much, Sunny. Penia got one. Penia got a membership. Mike Shaw got a membership. Deb Nelson got a membership. Yvonne got a membership. And Big Belly Bob got a membership. 5 memberships. Thank you so very much, Sonny. I truly appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Sonny says, Dustin, Chandra, and this community are awesome. It's an honor to support. Well, we truly appreciate you so very much. Evelyn says, when I come visit you, Chris, we need to make a Japanese bento with carnivore rice Tamagotchi and the cutesy little Kira. Yes, those words that you said. Chris says, I'm just throwing this out there. I have 90-second carnivore bread, which is good, but Dustin wouldn't know. I have all the ingredients in my Amazon cart. I just haven't had the money to buy it. The sad thing is I had to forego that stuff to buy some things to make this office work. I had to buy a stand for the TV, which that was like $150. I didn't want to spend. I wasn't really looking to spend that, but it's something that I had to spend to make this office work. I do plan to make that recipe, Chris. I promise you. Now maybe you'll make my recipe. I want you to try making my my chicken tender recipe. I want you to try making that for me. That's super easy. It's just eggs, Parmesan cheese, and the video that I made, that I need to make a secondary video, but the video that I have out shows using oat fiber, but I've done it again with gelatin and it works just fine. It works just as good with gelatin. So yeah, that would be a good video too. Because like for whatever reason, I wanted that video to go big and it only got like 100 and some views. So maybe if you make the video, then people will get that recipe, because really the recipe is what's important. Because knowing that you can make chicken tenders that are relatively low and easy, low carb would be awesome. I would love for people to have those, because that's really what I want. I want people to know these recipes, and like I feel like I'm not getting the reach, so other channels make it so people see it. Let's see. Carl says, I can bring some of my bento boxes, leave them with you. To that I responded that I will buy some new ones for you. He said, it backfired. I love it. JJ made it. Good morning, JJ. Glad to see you, my friend. Evelyn says, fat Japanese people don't exist, Sean. Sumo? Never mind. But they're super strong. I don't know what they're doing. And Sonny's right. So this bothers me. This bothered me for a long time because I left a couple of comments and I just wanted them to go away, but they would never go away. There were some of the negative comments that I had that just wouldn't go away. So I don't like that YouTube makes you respond to the comments, or you have to delete it for it to go away unless I'm missing something. Yeah. I mean, that drives me it drives me crazy. I don't know why they don't go away. Sean says, Evelyn, for a crafty woman like yourself, nothing is out of reach. Well, maybe those wooden sandals for someone with big feet. And Sonny says, the comments are always there and it clutters up comments that I would like to see and respond to. Yeah, for real. And JJ says, as a teacher of ADHD students, it's hard sometimes to find the trigger to get some students hyper-focused. Patient redirection helps. Many teachers don't have the patience. I think this is a huge thing when it comes to with teachers and the number of students and the patience and the time. There's just so many, like, it's such an uphill battle that I think that a lot of teachers come in with high hopes. They come in with, it's like a lot of politicians. Politicians, are like teachers. They come in all bright-eyed, thinking they're going to change the world, and they get in and they get involved in the politics that is a school that is DC, whatever, and then they become disillusioned and they just phone it in. And I mean, the pay isn't that great probably, and like they're overwhelmed with too many students, and then the students are misbehaving. They don't have a lot of tools to keep them in line. It's just a lot. And I commend people who do it day in and day out. I mean, I couldn't imagine being a teacher. I had a friend that went in to want to be a teacher so bad. Was a teacher for 2 years, I think, and was like, nope, I'm going. She went to do something completely different. Maritza's in the house. Good morning, Maritza. So very glad to see you. So very glad to see you. Evelyn's like, how'd you know I had big feet, Sean? I think we all know, Evelyn. I got size 13 feet. Maritza just finished her second cup of coffee. I'm almost done with my first one here. And I do have some grape salty here in my Sasquatch cup. Maritza, it's perfectly fine. There's no such thing as late. We're always glad to have you no matter what. And Sean says, Evelyn, it might have come up in a conversation or two at one of the meetups. Yes, thank you so much, Sonny. So very much. And Chris says, I didn't see your request earlier, but you're on the list too. And JJ is talking to Chris and says, dude, your videos get better and better every week. Content and those little special effects, keep them coming. Yes, I love it. Like the B-roll you're using is all awesome, Chris. I love it. Chris is always putting in the most effort. And he's saying, JJ, I appreciate that. Yesterday was the first one filmed with an actual camera. Oh, I need to go back and rewatch that. I didn't realize that was filmed with your new camera. I mean, really, your stuff's been filmed with iPhones for so long that iPhones look just as good, really. Sean, what are you doing, Sean? Sean with $20. Super chat. Sundays are the best because of you, Dustin. You and the rest of this chat love all you guys. Well, I love you, Sean. You and Shell, you're so generous, and I truly appreciate you so very much. And thank you for being one of the pillars of this community. I truly appreciate that. That's right. Sean is the bestest. I love it. Yeah, Sean rocks. Yeah, JJ says the pay definitely isn't great. Oh, 100%. Julie in the Pines. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Dustin. I've had you on all morning, but just now felt able to type. I understand that for sure. Oof. And Maritza says, when you have 35 students to one, it's just, I don't understand how they can, and I know there's a teacher shortage, but there's a teacher shortage because they don't want to pay enough. Because if it was a good paying job, it would be like Ford in the 30s or whatever, when like they were paying $5 a day and everybody was lining up and they were people just waiting outside to get a job. You pay better than anybody else, people will show up. Karen's got to get the day going. Appreciate you all. Love my Sunday mornings with you. Well, I love it. You being here too. It truly means the world to me. Really, all of you. I love it. Sherry's here. Sherry says, good morning. Really, really late also, which we'll watch from the beginning on replay. Well, thank you so much, Sherry. Thank you for my mouth is stopping working. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I hope you enjoy the replay. And Chris is off to work on my carnivore shred lunch. You all have an amazing Sunday. Love you all. Love you and Ash and Mel. And I will text you later. Love you guys. And for each and every one of you else, thank you all so very much for all that you do for me, all that you do for all the super chats, all the upgraded memberships, switching from family to the daily, the morning regulars, and all the things, and Amy for becoming one of the highest tier member, and all you guys, and all the gifted things and the super chats. You guys are amazing. I truly appreciate you. Literally would not have this experience every Sunday without you. I love each and every one of you. You guys are amazing. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, and I can't express that enough. And with that, how about some of these credits? I love you guys. Until next time, we'll see you next Tuesday.